I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of Front Row Negative, the podcast. I'm your host, Aaron. I am joined once again by my brother from another mother, the artistic, overworked card designer, Chris.
Jesus, you ain't kidding, man. Overworked. I can't say underpaid, but sporadically paid for this stuff, and still waving that Poncho's flag no matter what, man.
Yeah, you can keep raising that Poncho's flag. You know, the only thing that's going to be coming is disappointment. So, how are you doing this week? It's been a full week. How are you doing?
Oh man, exhausted as always. I'm living the gimmick. I honestly, man, I've got so much work that there's just never enough hours in the day, man. And I mean, I know you and I have talked about it. It's not going to change. We're going to be tired until we die because I'll be late for everything. I'll be late for my own funeral. But no, I'm actually all that will be for worth it, because tomorrow night at 7:15 my wife and I will be boarding a plane to Disney World.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, before you board the plane, and you're already dabbing. That's so 14 of you. That's so 14 of you.
Hey,
before you board the plane,
fellow youngins.
Before you board, we have a podcast, and also we have a guest this week. And this week, our guest, because last week we had a really fun guest. It got a lot of good feedback. We got a lot of hits on that guest because he's a popular nerd. Nerds Unite and all that. Great guy, super fun. But this week we went from Nerds Unite to Nerds of Anarchy, and our guest, you can say that he's like a professional popcorn bucket collector. You can say that he's got more slabs than the local morgue hanging on his wall. He has, he's everywhere. You go to a convention, you're probably going to see him there. You go to a toy show, you're going to see him there. You go to the movies, you might see him buying popcorn and filling up his popcorn bucket in the lobby there. So we've got Bob Camacho on. Bob, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for, bringing me on. I know you had the fun guest last time. Hopefully I'm a little fun too. I don't want to be a not so fun guy. So hopefully I'll be entertaining enough. So
every guest we have is fun. We all the guests that we've had so far have been a lot of fun. We haven't had a bad guest yet. So
hold on, wait. This is where I call it BOBCOMACHO. Right? There you go. See? I'm sorry, I had to get on my system.
Apparently the Spirit Squad is here tonight for all your wrestling fans.
Oh yeah.
What's up, man?
Thanks for bringing me on board, guys. And
no problem.
Yeah, man, I'm just here, and like you said, I'm pretty much everywhere. I mean, we're all everywhere, and I'm like the Waldo, I guess, of the nerd community. You can always attempt to look for me, and I'm there, and you'll find me. But
no, it's like that episode of Tiny Toons where like there's that one where they're doing yearbook and the award for most pictures, and like was it the little boy with like the blonde hair was in every picture in the yearbook?
Yeah,
and it turned out to be Buster Bunny, like in costume. I mean, well, that's you. You're everywhere.
Yeah,
you're everywhere.
Pretty much.
But there'll be times I'm at a toy show and you're like, I check my phone and it's like Bob checked in at this toy show. I'm like, wait a minute, where the hell is he? I don't see him.
I'm always.
But then it's already too late. He's struck.
Yeah.
Hey, where's your popcorn buckets at? Hey,
Bob is in Dallas. Now Bob is here.
If I haven't got a new popcorn bucket like in a while, so anybody listening got some popcorn buckets for sale, let me know.
Well, Bob, here's the heads up. As you know, we'll be at the House of Mouse this weekend, and if I see anything, I'll hit you up and let you know. We're gonna have to bring our extra bags so we can bring a damn carry-on full of popcorn buckets back to Houston.
PayPal ready. PayPal ready. That's all.
Right. Well, okay. So you're heading out this weekend?
Yeah, we're flying out tomorrow night.
Nice. Well, I'm actually heading over there next week.
Oh,
okay.
It'll be like my second time, but the family's first time over there. We're going to hit up Disney World. So
nice,
dude. Yes, awesome.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Very nice.
And you go Dole Whip nachos.
Right?
Dole Whip nachos. So I mean, to start off, I've got to ask, we'll kind of jump into a lot of other things first.
Of course.
But you are the co-creator or one of the creators of Nerds of Anarchy.
Yes, that is correct.
How did that come about? Because that went from like a small group, I think, of like 30 when I joined to many, many more people added.
Yeah. It's a couple years back. I don't actually know how long it was. It's been some time, maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
It's actually I want to say there's like 6 of us. My guys from Dallas.
Okay.
And we met actually at a Comic-Con in Dallas. I think it was Dallas Fan Expo. And we were just a couple of guys stuck in line waiting, to meet people. My first friend was Abe. He was the real good friend of mine. He's in the group, Abe Stanfield, one of the creators. Okay. So yeah, me and him met. We started talking. Every time we went to the con, we were always in the same line, just talking. Long story short, that's just all the other guys kind of came in. There's Marco, there's Alfredo, Chris Wiggins, Paul, and then Tommy. Basically, we just all met in the J. Scott Campbell line. Just waiting. I don't know if you guys ever hung out with him, but he takes forever. So we were just waiting in line talking.
Yes.
And that's where it all started, and after the con, we were like, hey, let's, we exchanged numbers. I don't think were we on Facebook? I don't know if we were on Facebook at the time, but anyway, we exchanged numbers and we just kind of started a group chat then, and it's kind of evolved. We took it to Facebook. And then it just evolved from there. We met so many different, interesting people from the group, man. It's been a wild ride, honestly.
Okay. Well, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I remember joining in pretty early, and I think I was added because at the time I had met you, and you had made a comment about the Comicpalooza name badges whenever I was there. And you're like, we're going to get one. I want to get one. How do I get one?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm staff. It's what it is. And then the following year, I had this giant license plate looking badge that was like a Flavor Flav like time clock with the maps and times and everything. And you're like licking your lips off the side, like, man, I like that badge.
Right?
What you got going down? I like that badge.
Well, I might still have mine.
Oh my god,
mine's on the floor over there. My kids play with my old ones. They're on the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I was at it and I would go in there and check. And I know for a while, like it was like half the Comicpalooza staff was in that group. And looking back on it, even then I was like, man, hope nobody says anything bad about Comicpalooza. And sure enough, every so often somebody would take a pop shot. And turf wars started happening. And
there's always that one person that starts something. I know, yeah.
And it's like NOA versus CP in there. And I'm just kind of standing back eating popcorn. Just watching all the fighting going down.
Michael Jackson meme.
Yeah.
Comicpalooza, come out to play.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's always like that. But I just remember being there, and it's always a lot of fun. I've met a few people in there.
Yeah.
That I know that I also recognize from other groups as well. Mm-hmm. And I've talked to a few. Like I've done tradings, like figure tradings. I've done other things where I've met at shows.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that I think me and you kind of connected at. And this was before Halo Fest that we kind of hung out at.
Oh yeah,
was I had posted my Disney finds for whenever I took the family to Disney. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, I just got this thing. This is awesome. Check it out. How nerdy is this? And it was the AT-AT popcorn bucket from Disney.
Oh yes.
And not even 20 minutes later, I get this message. Someone slid into my DMs. Hey man, how much?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
How much?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I had to have
it. I want that. And the thing is like the whole day, I'm like, I've worn that thing across my chest. I'm walking it like a dog because it looks like a little pet dog. Mm-hmm. People are asking where I got it from, and I'm pointing them to the different directions and everything. Mm-hmm. But I was having so much fun with that thing. And that's when I discovered, okay, who's this Bob Camacho guy? Okay, you want it? I'll be at home next week. Come meet me at my job.
Oh yeah.
And we'll cut a deal. And you literally showed up my first day back to work.
Yeah.
So
was that the first time we physically met each other, or have I seen you at at Comicpalooza beforehand? I mean, I'm pretty sure I have, right?
You would see me at Comicpalooza a few times. Yeah. You would see me because you would come up there and one of the questions you asked one time was hey, where's the wrestling at? Or I'm like,
oh yeah, you're right. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, ring's right there. Go take a seat. Go wait. But yeah, we had the interaction every so often, but we really didn't get to know each other, like become, I guess, better friends.
Yeah.
Until the popcorn bucket thing, and then since then we would hang out. Yeah. We hung out at Halo Fest whenever that was
fun. That was fun, dude. That was a cool event.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
And you've always been a really cool guy. And I've never met anybody that says anything bad about you. So another reason why I wanted to have you on the podcast. You've always been a really cool guy about that. Yeah. So enough with that nice stuff.
Make my head bigger. No.
So before we jump into anything else, we have a segment that kind of starts the show off that we've kind of been late to now. Basically, what are you watching? What are you reading? What are you playing? Or what are you listening to? Just some stuff that you've been either catching on last week that you've been catching on Netflix, maybe on TV, in a theater. You've been hitting it up on game because it's free on Game Pass or PSN, stuff like that. So because you're the guest, or if you don't want to go first, we can kind of come back to you.
I don't mind at all. What I'm playing and I'm always playing is of course Warzone. I mean, I play that religiously. I have all these new games, but yet I still play Warzone. It's a curve. I don't know. I can't get off of it. I mean, I play with some guys in the group. We always have a good time, and I can't stop playing it, dude. it's got a problem. But that's what I play. I play Warzone. As far as what I'm reading, dude, I should get them, but no, I have like a huge stack of books that I've been getting from my I go to Uncanny Comics. That's my shop.
That's your shop.
I've got a huge stack of books that I've yet to even start reading. I've got so many good titles in there and so many number ones. So I'm not really reading anything basically. I work and Warzone take up all my time. And then now con season starting, so I'm always traveling to the cons and shit.
So I gotta ask. When you play Warzone, is that with or without Monster Energy drink?
I don't like monsters. So
okay.
That's without monsters.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're not a total Kyle.
Yeah, no. Without monsters, it's without any chips. I'm not like the Cartman of Warzone. But
no kitty, that's a bad kitty.
But and to where I'm watching, I actually watch a lot of older shows. Ones that I've, that go back and that you've already seen, like Sons of Anarchy. I went back, started watching that again. And that's actually where we got the Nerds of Anarchy, by the way. If you didn't know. But, so I'm like that. Yeah, I know, right? Watching Rick and Morty, of course. I got the Rick and Morty new episodes out, watching that. Just started watching the American Horror Stories, the spinoff. It's pretty disturbing and cool at the same time. So I really like horror stuff, I don't know if you've jumped on it yet, but it's pretty cool.
I know a few horror movies here and there. I've watched a few of them
just a little
bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit in my life. I will say, since you mentioned Sons of Anarchy, have you started watching Mayans?
When it first started, I watched like the first 2 episodes. I could never get into it. And, I have it just sitting there in my Hulu. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just can't bear to really get into it.
I'll say what you're experiencing with Mayans, I experienced with the Sons of Anarchy. It took me to get to episode 5 to finally really get into Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay.
With Mayans, I was hooked by episode 3. Okay. I was hooked by episode 3, and I think to be honest, and I've mentioned this before on the show, I think while Sons had better overall actors, Mayans has better writing and stories.
Okay.
Once things start get going in Mayans, it doesn't let up. They plant the seeds in the first few episodes, and then everything's blooming, like episode after episode after episode. Things are just blooming.
Oh, okay.
And it gets really good. It's just kind of give it to at least episode 3 or 4.
And it's still ongoing, isn't it? Like there's still new episodes for it?
They just renewed season 3, so season 3 will come out next year.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
So they just renewed for season 3 back in I think April or May.
Okay.
But very good, a very good show. I'm really digging it. And it's just a lot of fun to watch. So.
And real quick, going back to the Sons of Anarchy and then of course the Nerds of Anarchy, the real quick story where that our name came from, of course, Sons of Anarchy. Our friend and our other admin Alfredo, he's a huge fan of Sons of Anarchy, and we were all like, hey, let's move it over to Facebook. And I was making the page like I always do, And I was like, man, I'm stuck on a name, guys. I mean, I know we're nerdy and blah blah blah. What the heck can we even call ourselves? And he was just sitting there watching Sons of Anarchy at the time, and he was like, hey man, how about like something of Anarchy? And I was like, hey, we're a bunch of nerds. It's Nerds of Anarchy, and that's where the name came from. He's watching it, and I was like, nerds, let's do that.
Okay.
So it worked.
That's pretty cool. I mean, and again, it's got a lot of group. It's a big group. A lot of people are in it. Lots of people, like, if you need to find anything out, you can basically ask a question in a group, and you'll get a straight answer. From several people.
Yeah.
Trying to help you out. Now there are some trolls like whenever group, but this one, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And especially this week with all the San Diego and the Comic-Con posts and releases and updates and leaks that have been happening, everybody's excited about everything that's coming out.
Yeah.
About like the toys, the figures, and everything.
Man, that slaughter.
Today pissed me off with that. But we'll get into that later, though. We'll get into that later. So, is there anything else that you've been watching, or like, have you been to the movies or anything since the reopening?
We haven't been to the theaters yet. Of course, I think the last one I watched was, we watched Black Widow.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I liked it. I was actually surprised. I don't know. Have you guys seen it?
I've not seen it yet. I have not
seen it. Okay. Well, I don't want to, ruin anything. But I mean, it was good. I didn't think it was going to be as good as I thought.
Okay.
I was shocked.
I do want to see it. I don't really care for spoilers on this one, just because the Black Widow, I know it's going to be a super action movie. It's going to be like, high octane, kind of like Winter Soldier was.
Yeah.
But I don't really mind the spoilers, just because there's nothing that I want to be surprised about with Black Widow.
Okay.
There's no characters that I know that are involved that will surprise me. So
she survives. She makes it.
I will say, if you have been watching like Captain America and Winter Soldier, and like Loki and all them, then there is a little nice surprise at the end of Black Widow. The character on there.
Oh that's true.
Pretty much puts them all together, which is really interesting. But I mean, if you don't mind spoilers, I mean, I really don't want to accidentally.
No, I don't mind the spoilers. I mean, we could put up a spoiler warning. Basically skip for the next 30 seconds ahead.
Just if you haven't seen Black Widow and you've been following Falcon and Winter Soldier, there's just wait to the end. An MCU movie, of course, there's going to be something at the end for just watch it and take a look at it. It's a nice little character on there for you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, man.
But I will say this though. But I will say this
exactly,
though. If I get spoilers from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I will cut a bitch.
I'm very much looking forward to that. I mean, the end of Loki was very, that was awesome. That basically sets up the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Loki was great. But you don't understand. This is Sam Raimi coming back to semi-horror in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
For a second semi-horror themed movie in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
We tried that with New Mutants. I enjoyed New Mutants. I know a lot of people did not like it because they didn't understand the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great. I thought it was good. We had
that was the biggest problem, dude. I'm sorry. Let me interject on that. I did also enjoy New Mutants. I have a pretty extensive knowledge of comics. Not that I'm trying to brag or anything, but
from the place of business that you cannot name yet.
Exactly. But yeah, man, like the most people that were bitching were the people that had no idea.
Yeah.
Like who these characters were, and then like the love interests and everything. They're like, Jesus Christ, it's still 2021. We still got to explain to people that people can do stuff without their fucking approval. But like, oh, she kissed so and so, and she kissed her. Is like, yeah, well, if you read anything, you would know that, but you don't. Your knowledge is literally based on nothing but movies and TV because you have no patience. You don't read nothing.
Just wait in 15 years when the Alpha Flight movie comes out with North Star.
Oh my God, their heads will explode.
just wait for that. Like people, they go, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
I'm shocked and appalled. I'm getting in my space car and I'm flying back to Alpha 5.
So I'll take next. I watched all 3 Fear Street movies that are on Netflix. I powered through them all because I read some of the Fear Street books back in the day.
Yeah.
I read a few of those. And I wanted to see if there's any kind of connection to the books that I read. Because I think I read like 4 or 5 of them. Overall, the show as a whole, all three combined, was okay. Part 2 was the best one out of all three of them. Part 2 was the best.
It was, yeah.
It's very Friday the 13th. It was very Friday the 13th.
Very, yeah.
Wasn't that what they're going for though? Kind of like a trope fest.
Well, part 1 was Scream. Part 2 was Friday the 13th, and part 3 was The Witch. You know, the one with Black Phillip. If you're going for tropes and what they're kind of imitating.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't want to get PC or anything, but the overall tone was because of somebody wanted to come out with how they're going to do the story, and I thought that was kind of, it's like that's the reason for the whole movie set was because of this.
Yeah,
didn't make sense. It didn't make the big reveal in part 3 was like, really? Yeah, that's what it was. That's the whole. That's the whole twist. Is coming out that kind of a letdown. Kind of a big letdown.
Now, was the Fear Street, because I never read Fear Street. Was it for kids or was it for like
Goose? Oh, geez, Chris.
I figured I would take the microphone away from my face.
Oh, yeah, we still heard that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You might want to wipe your camera down. Okay. Wait. But okay, so Goosebumps was for kids. Goosebumps was for the preteens and the early teenagers. Fear Street was for the middle-aged teens and late teens. It was geared toward more so that.
We had it in my elementary school library.
Because with Goosebumps focused more on the scares and like the Twilight Zone kind of twist at the end.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then you had Fear Street, which dived into dating and sex and violence.
Okay, so there was a lot of sex and violence.
It wasn't a lot of it, but it was more romance and relationships.
Oh, okay.
And they would talk about it, and they would do that, those things.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what it was geared toward. And if you were, a teenager back then, you either had R.L. Stine's Fear Street, or you had Christopher Pike, with his teenage horror drama books. And I read both. I read a lot just because I loved horror stuff. So I read a lot of that crap. But for the movies overall, it's okay. Really, just watch the second movie. That's it. Just watch the second movie, and you can kind of leave the rest alone.
They were entertaining. I'll give them that. It wasn't nothing to wow over. But I mean,
it wasn't.
It was. But I will agree with you. The second, which I think a lot of people that I asked in the group, when I had posted about it, I think a lot of them agreed that the second was probably the best segment out of there.
Definitely the best segment out of there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's up to you. Go watch, check it out, form your own opinion. Hopefully you'll like it more. If someone's listening, if they like it more than I do, that's great. If they don't, I feel your pain. So I can see that. For reading, I recently picked up Superior Spider-Man, like Omnibus or Volume 1 for Superior Spider-Man. So I'm reading
Good
that.
series.
That was kind of the Spider-Man I left off on when I pretty much stopped collecting like individual comics.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of reading it when I just kind of stopped just because life got in the way with kids and stuff. So I never really got to finish and pick it up. Yeah. But I've always wanted to read, Superior. Team Up Superior, That's Superior, and I think the Foes of Superior Spider-Man. Yeah. Was like the Sinister Six characters. So I'm starting with Superior Spider-Man #1, Volume 1, and I'm reading through that, and it's a lot of fun. It's that's great. It's just fun reading.
I will say it's one of my, because back in the day, Marvel was like my top favorite, but then of course you get to the newer stuff. I didn't really like all the newer stuff, but Superior Spider-Man, when that came out, I loved it. I read them all. I have them all, and I love the series. I love the story behind it and everything. It was really good. So that's a good one you're reading about. Right?
It is. Yeah, Superior Spider-Man's really good. I've enjoyed it. As far as comic book series go, I miss a lot because I miss collecting comics. I miss reading a lot of comics.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I miss reading, like individual issues of, was Spider-Man, Superior, Ultimate, regular Spider-Man. There's a comic series called Atomic Robo, which I loved. Atomic Robo, so much fun. And then the comic Chew, CHEW, from Image. That was a great series. But now I'm slowly kind of getting back into reading comics, just reading in general. Yeah. And I'm reading Superior. I'm also reading a book. It's the Lost Rod Serling Twilight Zone short stories that he wrote.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading the Volume 1 of that, where it's all these stories that he had for TV ideas for episodes that never happened.
Yeah.
They just kind of sat on the floor. So
Wow.
I'm reading that. And I'm also reading, I mentioned this many episodes back, where I'm still reading the Nights of the Living Dead, which is a whole bunch of short stories surrounding George Romero's Night of the Living Dead that are happening in other parts of the country during the outbreak.
Oh, okay.
So
That's pretty dope.
Like a different point of view, basically.
Yeah, just different side stories.
Yeah. Okay.
Like one of the stories happens in Texas, like, where people are street racing, Vin Diesel style, and it's an family. And it's happening in the late 60s, and they're street racing and they get interrupted by zombies.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
While they're racing. And it's funny that I mention that now, like, yeah, that's predetermined Fast and Furious stuff. So it's a lot of fun. And as far as gaming, I'm still playing Second Extinction. That is such a fun game, just a pistol whip a dinosaur. I'm playing this another game, huh?
What is it called?
Second Extinction. It's by the people who made Apex Legends. They made Apex Legends.
Oh, okay.
And you could do a 3-man party, or you could go solo, jump in and start doing little missions. But you get to shoot dinosaurs. You get to pistol whip them, which is even better. And you get to fight like a Triceratops and Ankylosaurus.
So like it's Turok style.
Yeah, with shotguns and pistols and rifles and everything. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
I love Turok.
I like Turok too.
I loved it so much, and I have it on my Xbox, and I seen it on the store, and I bought it a while back, and I just love that game.
The one for 360 or the one for
Xbox One? Like it was in the store.
Oh yeah, the remake. Yeah, the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they made him like Native American in a military space marine.
Oh no! It's the old school Nintendo 64.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Well, I know they did the remake where he was like a Native American in like a space marine type setting, where he was like a tracker, and it played like Uncharted, where you can kind of sneak in the grass and sneak up on people and dinosaurs and ambush them and take them out. I know
what you're talking about. I think I kind of remember that.
That was I liked that one. That was a lot of fun. A lot of people hated it because it wasn't the old school Turok. It was only one player. But I enjoyed it for being one player. I thought it was fun. But I'm playing Second Extinction, very much like Turok, very much like Apex Legends, just a lot of fun. And then I'm also playing this game that was free on Game Pass called Outriders, which is kind of like Mass Effect meets The Division, but on another planet.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. A lot of fun. So, Chris, what you got?
Well, I'll tell you, man. You forgot to mention, man. We watched SmackDown. Did we talk about SmackDown last week?
We did not talk about SmackDown last week.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, definitely that was pretty fun. Being back at a live show. I know WWE isn't really geared towards us anymore.
No.
Being old,
no, it's not.
What have you? But it was kind of cool, man. It was cool to see a return to normalcy in regards to that. So we definitely watched that. I watched my niece have fun. You watched your kids have fun.
No. I watched Gwen have fun.
Oh, Parker went into it?
Parker did not like being there. He wanted to leave about 30 minutes after we got there. He was done. He did not care anymore.
Oh. There's no monster trucks. I mean, come on.
Pretty much there's no monster trucks there.
He's like, what kind of garbage is this? No, but that was cool, man. It was, I never thought I would say this, but it was cool to see Cena come back. At least somebody that, I recognize or, can be slightly entertained by. That was interesting. And, that was definitely fun. We definitely had a good time doing that. And we talked about AEW, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we talked about AEW last week with Sully.
Cool. That's right. Watching, reading, and playing. You know what? On Disney Plus, they have that new series. It's like 5 or 6 episodes where it goes behind the scenes of different rides at Disney. And it kind of gives the history of them.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Okay. Oh, wait. That's not the Imagineers? The Imagineers?
No. This is different. Imagineering is kind of a swooping, all-encompassing story of Disney, period. Whereas, what's it called? Inside the Magic? Is that what it's called?
No, behind the attractions. It's basically toys that made us for Disney rides.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that was super dope. And so I've been watching those and my usual, listening to my usual, true crime podcast and, wrestling podcast and
Okay, I got to ask, because I put this in our group chat. Did you listen to Talking Shop with Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuka?
Of course. Yeah, dude. No, I mean, it's the Talking Shop. Bob, I don't know if you listen to Talking Shop at all, but are you familiar with the current wrestling product, like Bullet Club stuff and all that?
No.
Okay. There's a tag team, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. You watch wrestling back in the day, WWE?
Yes.
You remember Festus, that guy?
Yes.
That's Doc Gallows, aka Luke Gallows, aka whatever. Sex Ferguson. They have a podcast, and they literally, it's called Talking Shop, and they literally just talk shop. They talk wrestling business, and like talk crap and all kinds of stuff. And it's one of the better podcasts on there because they just ham it up really well, man. They're just what they call hoots and good brothers and whatnot, and they have a good time and mess around. So it's pretty awesome.
Huh.
It's really funny. They do voices because they both do impressions. But Luke Gallows does an impression of the Fink from old school WWF.
Yes,
and he's perfect. And then he does an impression of Toothless Stone Cold, which is even better. So definitely plug like each episode is like maybe like 30 minutes long, if even that. And it's just straight up comedy. It's just comedy gold. If you love wrestling, just go and watch that.
Definitely.
Definitely check that out. And I guess since we're talking a little bit about wrestling, I guess something that we have been watching this whole week since last weekend, a lot has happened with wrestling.
You ain't kidding, man.
We can just kind of quickly go through that. Me and Chris, with our selective families that we went to SmackDown Live, had a lot of fun. For me, it was like another episode of SmackDown just live this time, even with Cena there. So then that happened. Oh yeah, and Bacon's favorite came out, and twice.
I literally got in trouble at rehab.
Yeah. You know what? Nobody told you to stand up and jump around, especially on a slippery floor. Nobody told you to do that.
Oh my god!
So we were there. That happened. Finn Balor, which is Bacon's favorite. She nearly lost her goddamn bacon bits over that.
Oh wait, go listen to the second ever episode. Is it the second episode?
Yeah, second episode.
Christmas gift.
Yep.
So she lost her bets. Finn Balor comes out. He debuts. Abs everywhere. He's got abs on top of abs. He's officially on SmackDown. That happened. The next night on Impact's pay-per-view, it had AEW champion Kenny Omega fighting the challenger Sami Callihan for TNA Impact. Omega retains, but that's not what everybody's talking about. What ends up happening is the current Bullet Club leader comes into the ring and confronts the old Bullet Club leader, Kenny Omega.
Yeah, man.
So, and this is a big deal because
this is some groundbreaking shit, Bob. I don't know if you understand
because New Japan has sent over Bullet Club members, but they're kind of like the lesser mid card level wrestlers over. They sent them over like ELP, El Fantasmo, Tanahashi, Chase Owens, Kenta has come over, Hukalia, and now this is the leader. This is like New Japan employee Jay White, Switchblade Jay White shows up, and that's kind of people are freaking out because of that. That's kind of a big deal. And then fast forward to Sunday night, Cena comes back. And then because everybody who's debuting in other companies, Monday Night Raw, and we get back in. We get back. Whisker Biscuit himself, Goldberg, shows up on Raw. Guy. Basically, he looks like Santa Slay now because of his age and that white beard. I mean, he's not cosplaying anymore. He's not cosplaying anymore. He is Santa Slay.
Yeah.
He shows up. I forget. Didn't somebody else show up on Raw? I'm forgetting. Did somebody else return?
Oh, Keith Lee. Yeah, another wasted return.
Yeah. Keith Lee returns. Who'll probably be featured in Endeavored soon. Oh,
yeah. And the NXT champion debuts on Raw and loses to an old washed up Jeff Hardy in like a minute and a half.
But
Dude,
we had another debut. Jeff re-debuted his old theme song that everybody wanted to bring out. No More Words. That made the appearance. And then that's pretty much it for wrestling.
I'm happy I met him the other day.
Who?
Speaking of Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
you did.
He had that little appearance, I guess, because he has a band, right? I didn't even
Pure Oxygen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, speaking of Jeff Hardy, yeah, I mean, I met him, and I was always a fan of them. Him and his brother, back in the day. And I didn't want to cut you off. I'm just saying, he was really nice to meet.
No, that's cool. My son is a big Jeff Hardy fan, and I think that's why he was bored at SmackDown, was because he was hoping Jeff Hardy was going to be there, and he wasn't. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm done. Jeff Hardy's not here. I'm done. I don't care."
Oh,
so he just didn't care anymore. But that's really cool that you even got to meet Jeff. I still haven't got to meet Jeff. I've met Matt like twice, but I haven't met Jeff yet.
Nice.
So
it was one of those events that kind of popped up on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh shit, really?" I mean, I didn't, and it was just he went to like Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio.
Yeah, the Texas tour.
I caught him up in Austin.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So before we and of course, let's talk some Loki now, because we didn't get to do this last week. Chris, finally, you have watched the final episode of Loki.
Yes.
Yeah, about time.
So, what did you think?
Telling you.
What did you think of the final episode?
I've heard mixed reviews from people. I know that in the age of instant gratification, people now are more akin to wanting everything for nothing right now. Give it to me. I don't want to wait. I'm impatient. Everything's at the snap of a finger. I want it all. I am not like that. I'm not like that. I've never been like that because, God forbid I get a little bit of story and a little bit of build up to invest me in the next 10 years of movies. The people who griped about He Who Remains, which we all three know that, if we're putting two and two together, this is not his last hoorah his last incarnation of who we're going to see. Which is interesting because he's going to be Kang. I mean, obviously he's a variant of Kang. I think maybe he was more of a subdued Kang. And my theory here is that he was put there by an evil Kang, or a Kang we haven't met yet. Because I don't think people are ready, man. Kang is chaotic. Kang just wants to control everything. And
I will semi-agree with you on that, and the reason I say that is because first Kang that we met, the He Who Remains, he made it predominant that there were 3 timekeepers. It was 3. It wasn't just 1; it was 3. The ending of Loki, we got the single, where it's all about him. So I'm thinking that Evil Kang didn't put him there. Now we're getting Evil Kang. We're getting the Conqueror. And I kind of made this hint last week. I was like, it's very Back to the Future. It goes from Twin Pines to Lone Pine at the end. Not trying to give anything away, but that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, he said it. He said it himself. I mean, if Sylvie, continues and does what she set out to do, that basically there'll be hell to pay. Like, we're gonna have to deal with his evil variants. So that's basically that. And then, she goes and does what, stabs him. Stabs him. I didn't want to ruin. I know, people may not have watched it or whatever. But anyway, she basically just sets up the next, 10 years. I mean, now we got to deal with the variants, the evil ones. So
we're in for a wild ride, man. I'm excited. I like the fact that we're going to get the multiverse of madness, which means, logistically, this, again, I might be way off base here, but this is a perfect way to introduce your FF and your X-Men. Because we're that at this point, all bets are off the table. I think this is where the What If animated series comes off.
It's because, a lot of doors.
And I mean, dude. At this point, I don't know why anybody would be surprised that anything is possible.
Well, that's why I said that the first episode of Loki, that woman walking in the background, that's Super Soldier Peggy Carter from What If. That's the What If variant of Peggy Carter walking in the background. Things are already starting to put into place. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm guessing.
Dude,
that's
the mouse has the money, and don't be surprised in like a handful of years that we end up getting DC versus Marvel amalgam movies.
Yeah.
With like, if we get a Dark Claw animated series, like the old school Bruce Timm style.
Yeah.
Come on.
Justice League Avengers.
Man, I'm just saying.
Like, ready, man. I got the book ready.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
So I'm gonna throw this around the table for Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Rank them 3. 1 the best, 3 being least, or not least best, but 1's your favorite. Rank them, and we'll start with Bob. You're first.
Falcon and Winter Soldier will probably be my number 1.
Okay.
Loki being second, WandaVision being third. I liked WandaVision, but it was, I don't know, it was too, I don't want to say it was too slow. It was just, I don't know, it took a minute to build up, and it was my least favorite out of the Marvel shows.
Hey, fair enough. Everybody's got their own opinions. So that's great. Hey, Chris, what you got?
I think for my favorite so far is probably going to have to be Falcon and Winter Soldier. And my reasoning for that is going to be I like that we're facing things head on. So the social commentary is straightforward and is appropriate and needs to be talked about, and things need to be covered. Because in the world we live in, I mean, we need to, whatever we can do to help people get past these shortcomings and these misnomers about, race and, there's been mistakes, and these mistakes have been in place for a long time. And people have been too scared to face them. If this show can go and do that, to where people can pay attention to it, because that's where people are now. We're all engrossed in our fantasy worlds and stuff like that. And I used to be of the mind that I didn't want real world in my fantasy. You know what I mean? I used to be of the mindset I didn't want any social commentary in my X-Men books or my Spider-Man books. But like, that's where we're headed, and that's where you're going to reach people, because as and this is my personal opinion, as a general rule, the world sucks and it's full of garbage people. No offense to anybody who's listening. If you're garbage and you know it, please change. But the thing is, like, if this helps somebody, you know what I mean? And I think it will. I think it had to have woke somebody up. And I hate saying that word, but like, there are garbage people out there who still, don't understand why you could, go to, and I hate bringing religion, but like go to church and say one thing and go out here and dropping all kinds of racial epithets and stuff out in the streets. Like, you're doing it wrong, asshole. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. So all that aside, that's why I like Falcon and Winter Soldier, because it attacks and brings forth the idea that mistakes have been made and they are fixable, but we need to, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but that's what I pulled from it.
Okay.
And I like the fact that we're going to get the Sam Wilson cap. I like the fact that we're fleshing out Bucky as more than just a one-dimensional murder machine. I've never cared about Baron Zemo at all. He's always been, to me, a throwaway character. But like, this show made him like interesting. And
he was a nice addition.
Yeah. And you never think about the fact that a Baron is literally like royalty. And so when the show's like, oh, he's got private jets and shit like that, it's like, well, I'm a Baron. Like, oh, okay, yeah, well, duh. No wonder you are, you were of a social class, and so you have certain things available to you, which I think was cool, because that's what you need in your villains. You need these disconnected, like, you know what I mean? Like, world dominating, of course he has his own reasons, which it kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they kind of change from like, you killed my family to now I'm just going to do shit because, like,
pretty much. It went from revenge to privilege.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
so like that was, I guess, if anything, that's kind of where I was like, huh? But okay, I'll take it. That's fine. I think after that, for me, Loki would be my next favorite, just because I love, dude. Tom Hiddleston is charming as hell.
Mm-hmm.
That guy,
He's growing on me. He grew on me.
yeah, dude. He's just, I watched at work today. We were looking at a video of him doing an impression of Owen Wilson from 2013, and he nailed his impersonation of Owen Wilson way before they even worked together. Yep. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. And I've seen videos of him dancing on talk shows and shit. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? and then like you know what they've done with his character is astounding. I mean, what more can you want, man? Loki is an interesting character, and they know that, and they've taken him and made him a top tier. I don't even want to say villain at this point. Just Loki. He is a god of mischief, and like this series gave him a chance to self-reflect because he saw multiple worlds ending. He saw that everything he did was for naught. Like he saw that he needed to get his shit together.
Well, he also saw that he killed his mom too. He saw he was the reason that his mom died.
Yeah, and how could he have ever known that without this, being shown to him? So now we're going to get a couple different versions of Loki here because something's going to. I mean, granted, he got killed by Thanos, right? Stabbed his neck. So at this point, this is, to our knowledge, this is the only Loki we got, right? This is the Avengers Loki.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we get a chance to see the at odds, torn in his mind Loki. So which opens up so many more storytelling possibilities for him than just world domination and glorious purpose, which I think is wonderful. I liked. I think the Sylvie character was cool. I know she was based off a character from like the Young Avengers, loosely. It wasn't really the actual fake. It wasn't like she wasn't. I mean,
she wasn't the real Enchantress.
Right? No, she wasn't the Enchantress, and she wasn't like the quote unquote real female Loki or whatever. Like
I was hoping she was the Enchantress. I was hoping
that too. I was hoping
that would have been cool. That would have been cool. But you know what, dude? Again, with this time, the sacred timeline, who the hell knows? I mean, at this point, it's a genius move. They can do anything. We can get Chris Evans back. Dude, they got enough money. They can throw zeros at anybody, and they're going to bring anybody back they want to bring back.
Agreed. No, I totally agree with that.
All they got to do for Chris Evans is like, hey, we'll come back to be Cap for two or three more movies, and we'll let you direct 3 movies of your choice, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, go make your Sundance films. We know you're an artist, we get it, but come back and get this money.
I mean, he did Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer was a good movie. Yeah, it was a good movie. Good. But
weird name for a movie, but yeah. When I first heard that, I was like, "Is this a porn? What is this?" But like, upon further inspection,
it's not the Hub Piercer. So, already
the Bum Piercer parody. Anyway, like, I really enjoyed that. All the little nods to all the different things, the Thanos copter, all that random shit was really cool.
That was very funny Easter egg.
Yeah, dude, I was not prepared for that. We were watching, and I told Nicole, I said, "Can you rewind that for a second?"
No, the Throg at in the
jar.
Didn't
the director say they had a whole thing where he fought Throg, and it just threw off the show? They didn't put it in there.
Yeah, where Throg beat up Loki.
I want that on YouTube, or I want that on a DVD set. I need to see that.
And it'll probably be on the DVD set.
Fun fact: that was Chris actually played Throg, like he did his like voice or his.
Man, see, that's
him.
the kind of shit I'm talking about, man. This is the wondrous world we live in as nerds and fans of this stuff. Is that we're getting things we never would have thought ever. We'd ever get. So it's a good time to be alive in that regard. I mean, you're going to have your gatekeepers. They're going to tell you this is wrong, that's wrong, and I can't stand this, blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the internet. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Like, enjoy it or don't. You don't like it, don't watch it. Who cares? Piss off.
Well, it's like Kevin Feige. He says that he has a lot of things in the vault that they filmed that they haven't released. And one of the things that they released, I think it was a year or 2 years ago, was the alternate ending for Iron Man, where Nick Fury's walking, saying, "Do you want to join the Avengers Initiative?" And Fury says, to the fact, we've got spider bites, we've got people doing superhumans, green strong men, mutants. He specifically names mutants. Yeah. And we got this and this and this. The world's changing. but they went back and reshot it, and like he mentioned, the other
man.
stuff instead.
We weren't ready for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
beyond ready for that.
But he mentioned mutants and spider bites, and this was way back for Iron Man 1. And
God, who would have thought? Who would have thought, dude, that movie would have set everything on fire like this?
Yeah, nobody would.
Because I didn't care about Iron Man. Who, dude? Honestly, who gave a shit about Iron Man? Nobody.
Back then, nobody did.
It was a Saturday morning cartoon or Sunday morning Marvel Action Hour, whatever it was. It was not the driving force of that. It was the Hulk and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that. It was Spider-Man and X-Men.
Well, on Saturday. Sunday is when they had, because I remember watching those other ones before church. It was like they had a Malibu cartoon with like Prime and shit on there. Or
they had Wildcats, Force Works, Wildcats. You had Fantastic Four, you had the Incredible Hulk, and you had Iron Man.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and I loved those action figures were cool. All that was dope. But when it came to when I got to KB, I didn't buy Iron Man toys. It's like, it's a dude in a metal suit. Whatever.
The only Iron Man toy we had that me and my brother had was Hulkbuster Iron Man from that set.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense. I mean, it's probably a giant badass Iron Man looking. You gotta have somebody for the Hulk to fight, right?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
I was all about,
X-Men.
I was all about X-Men.
Yeah, who wasn't about X-Men? The theme song alone got you in that show.
Bob, how many 3 for 10s did you buy from KB?
How many of them were Ahab or Shatterstar?
Right.
Hey man, or your mom's favorite WCW toy with a little red button on the side.
Right.
Yeah.
I missed that toy story.
Dude. Aaron's going to have to send you a link to his T store online. He's got a whole line of toy store vintage price tags for toy stores. He's got T-shirts with them, and I own the KB 3 for 10 T-shirt. It's just a giant KB price tag. It says 3 for 10 on it. You
and Christine Nix's kid have that shirt. Have the KB Toys one.
Dude, more people need that shirt.
But no, the one that sells the most out of that line. Yeah, we have a new shirt. We need to talk about that too. But the one shirt that sells the most out of that line is the Toys R Us clearance sticker one, where it's got the orange sticker on top of the green sticker. Mm-hmm. So that's one that sells the most. Is that one?
Oh man, understandable.
You guys,
but
I was going to say you know Scott, right? Scott Fontanet. Do you recall when he had it was always in the group, I always posted when he had his Funland. I don't know if y'all ever remember the post where we basically had like comics and toys galore at his house.
I vaguely remember that.
So I always called it Funland. We always went over there. We always took pictures, bought stuff. Anyway, when you go into his house, he still had all these. He had 90s toys like galore. I mean, everything. And a lot of my stuff I got from his house, and they still had the KB stickers on them. He had KB bags. I had bags. I got bags from him. So going to his Funland was just bringing back memories. I mean, all the KB talk. I mean, it was Scott's Funland. It was really fun place.
Do y'all remember Funko Land? There was a store called Funko Land.
Yeah, I made a T-shirt
before Funko.
I made a T-shirt for that one too.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, Funko Land's on there.
Damn. All right.
I remember that.
Yeah, Funko Land.
I remember getting the video in the mail. They sent the cassette out with the all the previews of the new toys.
Yep.
Dude, that was like having an SDCC post flood your thing. You're just like, what is this coming out? I'm like, oh shit. No.
My Funko Land only sold video games.
Yeah, Funko Land only sold video games.
Wait, what was the other? Never mind.
Are you thinking of EB Games, Electronic Boutique? Because that had the figures in it too. They sold toys.
It might be, but there was another giant toy store that was like Toys R Us that sent out a video.
There's KB Toys. There's Children's Palace, Toys R Us.
Children's Palace? That might be the one. Was their main color red?
I thought they were mostly clothes.
Red and white.
Was it red and white? I think it might be Children's Palace then.
Children's Palace. You're thinking of Children's Place, which
okay.
That's all the baby clothes and what have you. Yeah.
Kids clothes. Yeah. My kids get crappy clothes from that place all the time. So to kind of finish this segment out, I'll rate my through the 3 Marvel shows. I'm gonna go WandaVision number 1 because it reminded me of Outer Limits. It was like one long Outer Limits episode, and I liked the Outer Limits, and that kept me going with that. I'm going to go Loki number 2 just because of Tom Hiddleston has grown on me. My wife loves the guy. She's like she's part of the Loki fan club member, like number 32-859658823. And she's in love with the guy. But I love the Easter eggs in that show. And then third, no disrespect, because I love Winter Soldier. I love the Stan. I forget his name. The guy who plays Winter Soldier.
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan, great actor, amazing. And that reminded me a lot of Mission Impossible, like the way the series was kind of set up, like 18 weeks Mission Impossible. And it was a lot of action, which I liked. But I like the mysticisms, and I like the powers and the kind of spooky twists and turns that WandaVision and Loki had. But I think what made me pop the most with WandaVision was you're getting all these TV show spinoffs. You're getting, you're getting Family Ties. You're getting I Love Lucy. You're getting the Brady Bunch, Modern Family, getting all that. And then all of a sudden, Agatha pops up with the Munsters. Now I'm like, what the hell? But it fits her perfect. And that, I'm like, okay, I'm completely sold, because nobody thinks about the Munsters unless you're a has-been 90s neo rocker named Rob Zombie. Nobody thinks about the Munsters. So, so it was great to see that. It was great to see that.
I love the Munsters. I used to love that show.
Yeah, I love the Munsters too. He's going to destroy that franchise. But it was great to see that.
Oh man!
But speaking of San Diego, you mentioned San Diego Comic-Con and the comic drops. Today was an official drop day for San Diego merch, for San Diego exclusive products. Now I got to ask, Bob, were you successful at all?
I was.
How the hell did that happen?
Yeah, seriously.
How the hell did that? Because I was in the waiting room and I got shut down.
Well, what were you going for? What? Because it just kind of
Scareglow. I was going for Scareglow.
Oh, okay. No, see, I was going for NECA only, so I didn't have to deal with any waiting rooms and all like that. I went to I just wanted the Channel 6 turtle set.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I was going for today. And I got that. It's sold out already. Of course, it sold out pretty quickly. But I got that. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, I'm sorry. Did you go after it or?
Honestly, no, man. I didn't even bother, man, because Disney is the weekend for us. So I mean, at the end of the day, if I don't get any of this shit, it's okay. I'm going to the House of Mouse, and
you're lucky. You're lucky enough to where you work in a place to where people who can't flip that are going to come to your store to sell it. So it's eventually going to come back to you. It's going to.
I can't sit here and lie to you and tell you that that's not one of the benefits of what I do for a living, but. At the end of the day, I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Like, back to you.
Yeah. I got three of the 4 NJPW figures chilling in my hold box in the bags, waiting for me to get them. So,
but I mean, I know former guest on the show, Rami, was also in the waiting line for Scareglow as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he logged in 10 minutes before, kept refreshing. He had one of them in his cart. He was filling out the information to check out, and it sold out. It put it out of stock in the middle of checkout. Yeah. Me, I was still in the wait room. I was still in the waiting room to get Scareglow.
Yeah,
and that sold out. They said it sold out in 4 minutes. The same with Sergeant Slaughter, that figure as well. So,
dude,
that was you were doing the Mattel, right? The Mattel.
Yeah, I was doing Mattels.
Yeah,
I was doing Mattels.
Trust me, I want that Sergeant Slaughter, but like at the end of the day, like you said, like it'll come around again. And that's the thing that I think a lot of us forget is that we go to enough cons and toy shows that it's all going to come back around again. None of this stuff stays. Not everybody who buys it is really interested in keeping it. Let's be real with ourselves. They want to make a profit, and I get that. And you know what? Like if I got to pay, if I really want something that bad, and I want to pay like $30 over and get it, then so be it. This is the collecting market. This is part of it. It's a part of his DNA, and it's hard to get away from it. And it's never going to stop.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, a lot of the collecting market is a fair amount of guys with the intent of just picking up stuff to flip it for a profit, which is fine. It comes with the territory.
Yeah. It does.
But I think at some point, all the stuff, the buck stops somewhere. It's whenever the profit margin is gone, that's when the toy stops being moved. You know what I mean? Because if a guy sells it, he's like, oh, I'll give it to you for $30 over retail, and the guy buys it for $30 over retail, but he can sell it to his friend for $50 over retail. So eventually, there's gonna be no more money. You can't squeeze any more pennies out of it, and then there it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been working in this industry long enough to see it happen, and that's just kind of how it works out. Outside of just actual collectors who really want the stuff, those guys also exist, and my heart goes out to all the guys today that just got shitted on by bots and all that crap. Man, it sucks. Like, I just
I kind of feel bad we didn't go after Sergeant Slaughter because the past 2 years we've gotten the WWE figures.
Yeah, I got Slim Jim Mach and I got Mr. T. Thanks to my wonderful wife, she was able to secure those.
This would have been the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, but that's okay. Like, it's there's plenty more stuff coming down the pike. I mean, what are you gonna do?
So let's play a quick game here. We did this last week with the eBay. Scareglow. Sold. I'm going for sold in the U.S., not anywhere else. What do you think the cheapest amount is? Bob, do not check your computer. No clicking. You're just taking a guess. It's Price is Right style. Higher.
What was his retail?
Retail, I believe, was $35 for retail.
Okay.
You're going for cheapest sold before shipping.
Ooh, and that's now, right? Like that's
right now today.
Ooh, okay.
This is panic buy. You were panic buying.
All right, so if he was like $30, eBay's. So let me say, I'm gonna say maybe the cheapest was $130.
$130. Chris, what you got?
$100 bump. Woo!
Yeah.
$130. That's it. Yeah.
For the SDCC, the new Scareglow, we're talking about that one.
Yes, the Revelations, the He-Man Revelations.
This was Revelations. This wasn't Origins.
No, this isn't Origins. This is Revelations.
Oh shit! I didn't pay that close attention to it. Jesus, man! Before shipping.
Before shipping.
I don't know, Bob. 130 seems high, but I could be wrong. I mean,
I say 250. I've seen the minis. The minis were going for like 300 the same day.
Okay, let me put it this way.
They're crazy on eBay, especially that day, like an hour after it sold out. They're crazy, man. They're just,
God, this is good. This is going to give me anxiety because a lot of people are making dumb decisions today.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, man, I'm going to say 80 before shipping. That's 100% bump and then some.
Okay.
And if you're a smart buyer, you're not paying more than 100% markup on something. It's going to come back. Oh God, I can't wait to hear this.
The cheapest one that sold today, the day of sale, the day of pre-order for Scareglow, He-Man Revelations, $85.
Oh.
85.
Hey,
what was the most?
What was the most? I'm looking it up right now. And oh wow, it just keeps going.
I would do 85.
85. That's before shipping.
I would do that.
The most expensive before shipping, $199.99.
Yep.
I was close. There's that one.
Wow. I like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank all the people out there who put the effort into buying these things and paying way too much, way too fast.
Wow.
I've seen it come and go, man. Like, I'm an old vet. What can I say?
Yeah. 85.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is wild.
$200.
Yeah.
The Channel 6
panic
box
buy
set.
like crazy.
I pulled it up on eBay just to see what it was going for, after it sold out and all that. And I think the highest I saw was like when you bought it, it was like $160, $70. I think 160. But someone sold it for like 350 or whatever. I was like, damn. I mean, Jesus.
This is for what? For what figure?
The box
for one
set,
figure.
the turtle, Channel 6
the new set.
Yeah.
Dude.
Wow.
Unreal. You know what? If that one guy in Dallas has another birthday party that's turtle themed, I'm buying a ticket and I'm going.
You mean Austin?
Was it Austin? Okay, I'm
Austin.
sorry.
Yeah, it was Austin.
Yeah, I'm going to that party if he has another one.
Oh, that was pretty cool. So yeah, like all those dropped. Yeah, I was pissed that I didn't get Scareglow. That was one because I've never been able to find a Scareglow in the wild from retro, from Origins, current things. Can't find Scareglow anywhere.
Really?
Nowhere.
what's the difference? Okay, so is there going to be a regular release Scareglow like out in retail? Like not at all?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
This is him. This is it. This is the only Scareglow for Revelations, unless they do like a battle damage, or unless they do like one that's like an Origins one, not Origins as an Origins of series, but Origins as an origin for the character for the new cartoon show. This is it. This was it, and it kind of sucks. It definitely sucks, but man.
Tomorrow is the Mondo exclusives, and I think something else is going up. But I know the Mondo.
Man, that Wolverine
Mondo, Gray Matter Art, and a few other companies are doing it too. I will say that X-Men Night of the Sentinels Mondo poster.
Those posters look amazing.
They do.
As much as I want the figure's $200.
Yeah,
and I just can't get myself to pull the trigger on them. I mean,
no.
But the posters are beautiful, man.
Even that He-Man poster is amazing too. That He-Man poster looks great.
Yes, yeah.
There's a He-Man poster?
Apparently.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a Revelations poster.
It's the one I've seen online with all the characters on it?
No, not that one. No, not that one. It is a different one. It does look very cool, but you're gonna be prepared to pay because it is very expensive. It is.
I'm not prepared, sir. The mouse got our money.
Yeah, well, not at least not.
I didn't tell myself, but I just
Good grief.
So, like, we'll kind of jump from today's loss, and Bob's gain, his one game, but everybody else has lost today. So, Bob, I got to ask the question because we talked about this at the beginning of the episode, and this has kind of been a thing. Popcorn buckets. Okay, how did you get started into popcorn buckets?
I like exclusive stuff, and I'm a sucker for any exclusive. And when I just started seeing like the buckets from like Disney or anywhere, I'm just like, wow. I mean, I want those. And Chris was kind enough to give me some from Disney, like the Millennium Falcon one is probably still my favorite popcorn bucket. Lights up and everything. Come on,
Yeah.
And I'm not like obsessed with popcorn buckets. I like exclusive stuff. So I mean, the popcorn buckets is good to have. When one of the Star Wars movies came out, I was it the last one? They had the R2D2, the R2D2 buckets, and of course, me and my buddy bought one. So I just love them. From anywhere I can get my hands on, if they're really cool buckets. The new Fast and the Furious movie that just came out, it came out when it came out in Mexico. There was an exclusive popcorn bucket from Mexico, and it's actually a rim, so it looks like a shiny rim, like a chromed out rim, and you take it off, and it's a popcorn bucket.
Wow,
that's pretty.
Yeah, I want to try to find that actually.
That's pretty cool because I know it was before Fast 8 came out. The first 7 movies for Fast and Furious series came in a rim. It was like a wheel rim with the spokes and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember I picked it up. I was like, nah, this looks stupid. I'll wait for the next one. And then the next year, Part 8 came out, and they had like the 8 movie set, and I picked up that. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty cool that it was a rim popcorn bucket. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Aren't you actually watching those movies right now?
I finished through Part 8. I'm all the way through Part 8. I need to find Hobbs and Shaw, and I need to watch Part 9.
Now, are these your first time watching them?
For parts 4 through 8, yes.
Oh, okay.
I've watched parts 1 through 3 before, but for 4 through 8, this is my first time watching them. And these movies, I'll just be straight up with you. The storylines are not good. The story is not great. You're watching these movies for the car stunts, for the non-CG car stunts. And I said that before. I could just imagine them going to the pitch meeting, and they're probably taking like Hot Wheels stunt track sets, like the one with the shark or the one with the octopus or the bull or whatever, and they're like, okay, here's Fast and Furious Part 5. Okay, what is it, man? Okay, you put the car on like the track set, and like, okay, imagine Dom doing this, and the car just does a jump off a ramp. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna have a giant octopus in the movie? No. Imagine an octopus is an explosion.
Yeah.
And that's the whole pitch meeting. It's just them playing with Hot Wheels.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you.
And it's just, some of this stuff is too unbelievable. Like watching street racers from LA jumping out of a Jeep and shooting down Call of Duty style trained mercenaries in an ambush.
Yeah.
And none of them getting hit. It's too much. It's too much.
The one where
all things with family is possible.
Yeah, the one where they went against the tank. I believe that was 7 or 8. I don't even remember which one that was.
That was part 8. That was part 8.
And you see Vin Diesel, of course he does other stupid things during that whole series of movies. But when he's like, I guess, jump and catches his girl or whatever, and just like he's landing on, I'm like, when the hell did he become Superman? I mean, he's just, there's not a scratch on him, and he's sitting there like, jumping from car to cars and jumping off freeway. I'm like, when does he get hurt? Well,
what I find funny is like the first and fourth movie, they keep bringing up, Dominic Toretto. He's a violent man. He almost beat this man to death. He almost killed him with a wrench. He almost did this and this. Almost killed him. Movies 4 through 8. He's killing people. He's murdering them. He's just straight up. And now it's okay. It went from the fear of getting beat up by this guy to the fear of him getting killed by this guy. And it's just,
they shouldn't have messed with my family.
Yeah.
Right? He does it all
I mean, Shazam ain't got nothing on him.
I will say this. I haven't laughed so hard. Just watching those memes. I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok a lot, and I swear to, like, and I play Warzone. There's a lot of Warzone memes with Vin Diesel on there that they will crack you up. Oh my god, I can't even. There's how you pick your loadouts, like you go to the shopping cart. There's one where you're scrolling through your shopping cart and you see family at the bottom, and he buys family. And Vin Diesel pops out, and he's sitting there with a shotgun shooting all these guys up. Like, really? Come on. But that's the funniest shit I've seen in a while, man.
The funniest meme I've seen is from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Someone took a screenshot that says, "The Saw is family," and underneath it is a picture of Vin Diesel smiling.
Oh my god. That is dope. Dude, it's just a good time to be alive in regards to these movies, man.
What I don't crazy is, he's been doing that since like the first movie. So why? I don't know why we're just now getting these funny ass memes.
For 20 years, he's doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, and then people are just now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I was gonna say I think a lot of these memes are just now starting off with like some of these memes are getting made by 20-year-old kids.
Yeah,
think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're picking up on family, where to us it was not a meme. It was just, that's just a thing. That's a driving force behind these Fast and Furious movies is family. And like now that we're in the irony culture, where everything's ironically funny, and everyone's got everyone's an edgelord. Suddenly, if you find something you can sink your hooks into and post a video on your TikTok about, boom, you're famous, and you make a thing that lasts about 6 months and then it's dead.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So that's my theory anyway.
So going back to your popcorn buckets, so how many of them do you actually have? Because I'm curious, because I've never seen anybody like specifically ask for popcorn buckets and like really go after them.
And where the hell do you keep them?
Yeah, and that too. Yeah,
we're all over actually. I mean,
so how many do you have? Where do you keep them? Do you eat out of them whenever you're watching a movie at home?
See, here's my Simba one. He's just laying down here in the corner.
Right.
I honestly I have a lot of them on top of the fridge. My wife hates it, by the way. They're in the kitchen. All of them. They're on top of my fridge. They're on top of my shelves. I don't exactly know how much I have though. I haven't really counted them. I have a good chunk of them because I know I had to put some in storage. I had to get my storage, and I put a bunch of shit in storage, dude, because I'm just overflowing over here, dude.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Popcorn buckets take up a lot of room.
They do. They do.
Bucket pimping, dude.
Now, do you eat out of them at home? Like when you're watching a movie?
We have. I haven't. The ones I don't really like, the Millennium Falcon, do not touch that one. I don't let the kids. Because like I said, that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
We've used when the Wonder Woman movie came out, we used the Wonder Woman one. I've used the AT-AT Walker. whatever. The Walker one I've used. And I've got like Batman, Superman. I've used those.
Okay.
So there's some that we do use.
So I gotta ask you, because I like I said, I mentioned this earlier. I did this too. Have you posed the Walker with other figures and taken like nerd shots because of the posability?
I have not, but the thought has crossed my mind, but I have not.
Because I say that because when I went to Disney, I had that one, and I got the other one. I got was Pluto. He's in a Christmas sweater, and one of the pictures I took. No, you don't. So one of the pictures I took was I took the Walker like kind of sitting, like dog sitting next to Pluto, and I put good doggos next to it because as the caption.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
because they're both little. They're both pups.
Yeah,
but even when we got back home, we ate out of that Pluto popcorn bucket at least a good 2 months after getting it. I would come home from work and the kids are eating out of the popcorn bucket, just still eating, and I'm like, kids, and so I'll go clean it out when they're done,
oh my gosh,
and then put it back up. But that one's my favorite. The Pluto one's my favorite.
Yeah, that
I still have. That one's really cool. And then Chris got me a Haunted Mansion one, I think last year or two. Yeah, last year.
Nice.
That it was a part of a set.
3-part set.
It was a drink holder,
really?
a popcorn bucket, and what was like a
pretzel holder or something like that.
A pretzel holder or something, and it was the hitchhiking ghosts, and the Hatbox Ghost, and another ghost.
That sounds very badass.
But when you press the button, it played music. It played Haunted Mansion music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's
really
got
cool.
a little light on it. It shines up on the figure, so it's all creepy looking and shit.
How much you want for him? How much you want for him?
I have 2 of the 3, and I gotta tell you, Bob, I don't know that I can sell those, man. Haunted Mansion is my shit as far as my Disney rides go.
I know that's your shit. Yeah,
that's
right.
Well, the thing is that in 2018 when we all went to Disney as like the FRN kind of family thing, we all went. My mission was to get, because I like Toy Story, but I'm a big fan of. I guess my favorite is the Pizza Planet truck. For me, it's always Pizza Planet truck. Well, during that season, they had the popcorn bucket of the little alien from Toy Story.
Oh yeah.
And there are 2 different versions. There was a green sweater and a red sweater. The red sweater, though, had the Pizza Planet truck knitted into the ugly sweater that he was wearing. So the truck was knitted in there, and we went on a hunting mission to find that goddamn alien from Pizza Planet from Toy Story, and never found it. Find out 2 weeks later, as I'm researching it online and everything, that the only way to get that is if you had an annual pass, an annual VIP pass to Disney World, and you had to claim it December 1st. You had to go up there to claim your popcorn bucket the first of the month.
Wow, man, ain't that some shit? Chase popcorn buckets.
But the red sweater was the Chase, while the green sweater was the normal one.
See, I didn't even know they had. Now you've just opened my eyes because I had no idea they had Chase.
They sometimes do. They sometimes do.
Right.
But yeah, I spent the whole week hunting for that popcorn bucket. Yeah. Never found it. I don't want to say I settled on Goofy, but to be honest, I settled on Goofy. I mean, not Goofy, Pluto. I settled on Pluto. So
let me ask you, Chris. I know since you're the big Disney expert. So are they, every time you go over there, like, do they pretty much have popcorn buckets like all the time, like different ones, like just all the time, or
they're constantly, I mean, they make a bunch of them until they run out, but they're constantly overlapping new releases. Like, I don't know what the newest thing is. I know at one point recently they brought out more of the aliens that Aaron was talking about, and then there's also like a Mickey shaped balloon one.
Yep.
It's like,
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Clear acrylic see-through. And I think they have a few different colors you can get.
Storybook Circus has where you can make the Casey Jr. train.
Which one is it?
At Storybook Circus, like our Haunted Mansion one, they have that by Casey Jr.
Oh yeah. So the Casey Jr. train is also another option for you, and it's like multiple pieces you can put together.
They have that now?
The day after we got there.
Maybe, yeah. The simple one that you had came out the day after we got there. I think. You probably saw me. I think didn't you see me post it on Facebook and you're like, "What? I need that shit." Or did I send a picture to you?
Probably. That sounds like me.
Yeah, because you were like, "What?" And then I think I even sent you. I don't know. Either way, that was our plan. I was going to message you or video call you when I was at Disney. Like, "Hey man, so look at these buckets." I was going to surprise you with it, but then when I found out, you're going to be a guest, I was like, "I'll just tell them."
even though I'm going to go next week, we're heading out next Friday. I still would like to give me a heads up of what what I need to make room for.
yeah, absolutely. Like you're probably going to want to look, man. Like I know it's like you can bring a carry-on and a stowaway or whatever for your bags on the plane. You might want to do what we did and go on Amazon and order like your own little canvas bag. That you can
we're
use
driving.
Carry on.
We're driving. I've got enough room.
Right.
Yes, I made room for myself.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Then.
Yeah.
Perfect, sir. And you have nothing to worry about, man. I think you'll be good to go. You're solid.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's been a long time since I've been at Disney World, and I can't wait.
Dude, it's a blast. I think I remember you and I were talking about the genesis of you wanting to go, and you had all the questions, and of course, no one's ever fully prepared with the. You can only do so much planning. You can't prepare for the wild cards that await you. But
you can easily be a Walt Disney World travel agent.
My wife could definitely be a travel agent for Walt Disney.
Right.
Cool. But man,
the good reservations.
Yeah, she got us that's the thing. She got us a Oga's Cantina reservation for like 9:30 in the morning. So
also had Ohana.
Oh, and Ohana, but we ditched that for. She's humble bragging. So.
So wait, what was the first one? Which cantina?
Oga's Cantina is at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's basically like the cantina from Star Wars. Yeah. Do you ride Star Tours when you went there?
I did. Yep.
Okay. Do you remember Rex the pilot?
Yes.
The droid they made just as a pilot?
Yes.
Rex. They fired him. And they fired him from the Star Tours because he couldn't fly his damn ship to save his life. But he got a job as the DJ at Oga's. He got reprogrammed as a DJ at Oga's. So he's playing music and stuff like that. And dude, okay, when you go, if you get a reservation for Oga's or you get in line and wait an hour or whatever the hell it is, you're going to get lit.
See if you have the walk-up wait list.
Yeah, go check on the walk-up wait list if you don't get a reservation. You can do that pretty much anywhere, any restaurant. If you don't get a reservation, just go up to the attendee and be like, "Hey, anything open?" And generally, it's such a chaotic thing going to Disney in the first place. People have to cancel their shit all the time because things happen where kids get sick or whatever the case may be. Things are always opening up. Go to Oga's and get the fuzzy tauntaun.
Okay. Can I make a reservation like on the app or?
You can see if you can see if anything's available. That's why we had to get one at 9:30 in the morning. So I'm gonna be getting lit early in the morning.
After this, Bob, I'll walk you through it.
Yeah, Nicole can show you things. She'll send you some screenshots and show you how to do it and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
Like after this, he can stay on and I'll walk him through it.
Okay, yeah. It'll be on the DVD extras for this episode.
And the after episode talk.
After credits.
So Bob, I gotta ask, like, if you could pick your top 3 favorite popcorn buckets that you own, what are your top 3?
Are you asking me or Chris?
I'm asking you.
Asking you.
I'm asking the master.
You're asking Chris.
Chris will be next.
The Millennium Falcon is the top one, like I said. And then my second one would probably be the Walker, because that's a badass one as well.
It is.
And the third is probably my R2D2. I think my Star Wars ones are like the top favorites.
Nice.
The R2D2 is awesome. I love the R2D2 popcorn bucket.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So, Chris, do you have a top 3 for popcorn bucket?
I would if Bob didn't buy my Sully from me at the last toy show, which admittedly I did have for sale because I have nowhere to put the damn thing. He's huge, and Bob knows that.
That's right. That was the last one I bought from you was Sully.
Sully's bulbous. That thing's massive. I guess it's gonna be my two out of my 3 that I'm missing that third one for Haunted Mansion. Like, one of the things I learned over the years is trying to be a little more disciplined in my collecting, and so I buy so much shit on just on a whim. Then I'm like, oh god, what am I gonna do with this thing? You know what I mean? That's where I kind of land on popcorn buckets. So, that's why last time when Bob saw that I went, I just came back with a bag full of shit for everybody else because I had nowhere to keep all this stuff. Sully was dope. Honestly, dude, I think it would be cool to have that balloon one, the Mickey shaped balloon one.
Okay.
Because not only do they serve a purpose as a popcorn bucket, you can use them as displays. So that might have to make the list when I get back. I mean, because we have plenty of Disney stuff that we would love to add to. So anything's possible.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool.
What about you, sir?
Well, I've only owned 2 of them in my time.
Gotcha.
I've only owned 2 of them. I had the Walker, and the Walker one was so badass though. That one was just so cool. The Pluto one is a good Pluto one, but I'll just look at ones and say the ones that I want to own, just because they are cool. The Haunted Mansion one they got, that one's really cool looking. I did see someone had a actual Pizza Planet truck popcorn bucket.
What?
To where like the top of it kind of opened, like the lid, the roof opened up, and that was the popcorn bucket part.
What? That's dope.
That was pretty cool, and I do want to get that one. The balloon one does look pretty. The Mickey balloon one looks pretty cool. I remember I saw there's like a Chip and Dale one that was kind of nice at one time, but I remember before we went, we were looking at this in October before we made the trip. And there was an Oogie Boogie one that they had. That was like glow in the dark.
Oh man!
Oh shit!
Yeah, I remember that. I wanted that one too, but
yeah, that one was that. I remember we were looking for that one as well. To hopefully find like any leftovers of that from because they stopped doing it in like the middle of November, or no, early November is when they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So we were looking for that one, during the week of Thanksgiving, and we were all unsuccessful with that. But it was pretty cool because even the lanyard that carried Oogie Boogie was all stitched up. It was like burlap sack stitched. So they put the detail on that one, and plus it glowed in the dark. That thing glowed in the dark. So that was pretty cool too. But it's just such far find.
Did y'all see that the Disneyland one, the Cinderella's carriage?
Yeah,
that was badass.
I saw that one. I saw that one. And I think
it's only at Disneyland, which I'm like, I'm not even going over there. But it's nice. It's like, I don't remember if it lights up or whatever, but it's just a huge carriage, Cinderella carriage popcorn bucket, which looks really nice.
No, that was pretty cool.
I'd display it.
There was one that I saw, and it was a Christmas holiday one day. It was like a white Christmas tree with like Mickey and Minnie like on the bottom of it, and it lit up. It lit up. It was pretty cool. I forget if that's going to be this year's or if that was 2019's. But it was a really cool looking popcorn bucket.
I love Christmas. I want that now.
Yeah, the holidays at Disney World are a lot of fun.
Have you ever been to the Christmas at Disney?
Not Christmas Day or the month, but we went during Thanksgiving, and we got to see them set the Christmas stuff up. We got to see them set a lot of it up, and and then we even got to see they did a thing at Magic Kingdom where Elsa threw snow on the castle.
Oh, nice.
So they put like the LED crystals and the LED snow and all that. And even the Haunted Mansion would turn into gingerbread because of the lighting and effects and everything. It would turn into gingerbread or candy in the background. It was really cool. They did a lot. And then it was also for Haunted Mansion. They had Easter eggs of Jack Skellington throughout the Haunted Mansion too. So it was really cool. It was a really cool thing that they did for that. So. Yeah.
Whenever I took my wife when we were dating. I took her to Disney. They can see you, by the way, doing your little jig back there. I took my wife is very humbuggy, or was very humbuggy when it came to Christmas. And I'm not. I'm a total sucker for Christmas, and so strategically we took her during the Christmas holidays when all the Christmas stuff was rolled out, and so it just made her heart melt. And now she's all about Christmas and Disney, and so I win. And I asked me to marry. And asked me to marry her. I asked her to marry. Well, I had to ask myself, of course, am I doing this? And then yes, of course I'm doing this.
I remember that. I remember that moment.
It's funny. Side note, like I remember, Bob. It was funny. Like I was at Toys R Us in Baytown, and I had just met Nicole not too long before, and at first I didn't think she really cared to even talk to me at all. It's just like, who's this asshole hanging out with my friends? But we ended up kind of hitting off a friendship, and I called Aaron one day. I was like, hey man, I'm over here at Toys R Us in Baytown. They got these Ninja Turtle wrestling figures, and I know she likes Finn Balor, and they have the Finn Balor Leonardo one. I was like, should I get this for her? He's like, well, do you like her? And I was like, well, yeah. He's like, well, it goes one of two ways. Either she'll like it and it'll work for you, or she won't and it won't. I was like,
Right.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
True
true.
words never spoken.
I told you, it said Finn Balor or the Piper one. Piper Raff or Finn Balor?
Yep. I went with Balor because, the piece of Machado, slippery when wet. So
yeah. Turtle abs. All those turtle abs.
Turtle abs. Look out.
Both of them.
Well, eventually I did, but I started off with Leonardo first.
That's true. He did.
Yeah.
So
I'm romantic.
Isn't it though?
very much.
Oh,
very much so.
no, you want to hear romantic? Let me tell you how I sealed the deal as far as getting her to actually date me. I came over to play Friday the 13th online with Aaron and stuff like that. We were doing the online play. And when I showed up at her house, I showed up with a 2-liter of Pepsi and a 2-liter of Pepsi and an AJ Styles Wrestle Buddy, the doll, AJ Styles doll.
Wow.
I was like, here you go, date me. It's like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and I quickly get the message sent from Bacon. Yeah, my boyfriend came over and brought me this and this today. And my response is so it's official now.
Wow.
And her response back was, "LOL, I got to go." And
Damn.
a few hours later, she was on Xbox Live. So it was
Anyway,
fun. It was
there you go.
It was fun.
Welcome to the FRN Valentine's Day Lovecast or whatever.
Pretty much.
5 years later.
Right.
5 years later. 5 years later.
What the hell are we talking about anyway?
I don't know, but I was about to transition subjects because at the beginning of the episode when I was introducing him, I made the comments about he's got more slabs in a mortuary on his wall, and I'm seeing those slabs in the background. So,
bro, that's not just slabs. That's money right there.
No, okay? So I gotta ask: Do you own a lot of slabs, like slab comics? Okay, slabs. What slabs mean? These are comics that are encased. CGC encased.
Yeah, they're verified and protected. The yellow labels are all signed and verified. Yeah. I do have quite a few. Most of them are in boxes. These I kind of switch them out a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't have any more spaces on my wall because I have other shit everywhere else. But yeah, I mean, I've got a few boxes full of slabs.
Yeah. I see a first Carnage back there. I see a Chuck Norris, a first Cable. I see a first him or whatever, the Warlock. Right?
Yeah, the first Gamora.
The first Gamora. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So this out of all these up here, so this is my Stan Lee one, my only Stan Lee.
Oof, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
That's one of my favorites. But then my Spider-Man is Sam Raimi.
That's dope, man.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites right there. Those two are probably my favorites. So
how many total CGC books do you think you say, or do you have like a spreadsheet? Do you know the exact number, or just
I don't have a spreadsheet? I am not that organized. I have both CGC and CBCS. I have more CBCS than I do CGC. I couldn't tell you how many I had because I have like a bunch of boxes full of them, and more on the way.
Nice.
So do you get these issues signed and slabbed by favorite covers, favorite artists, or just what you have available to get signed at a convention?
I like to, if it's someone like that has a lot of covers under the belt, like Jim Lee, I'll go with like one of my favorite books, or I'll go with my favorite covers. The Spawn and Batman right here. That's McFarlane and Frank Miller. That's one of my favorite covers right there. You know,
that is a cool cover.
Iconic.
Yeah, I like to kind of just keep it, badass cover or one of my favorite books, just to go along with who I'm getting it signed.
That's really cool. That is pretty cool.
Got some Art Germs in there, buddy. I know Art Germ's kind of on his way out as far as who's hot and popular. We're moving into the Momoko.
Yeah,
the Momoko era.
Yeah, I've got plenty of Momoko. I love her work. I have a lot of newer stuff that she's done. I need to meet her though. I need to meet her because I have some stuff for her.
Yeah, man. She's the all the rage right now.
Yeah.
I love her.
So out of all the people that you've met, I guess to get your comic signed, who has been your favorite to get your comic signed? That you've enjoyed getting your comic signed by? Like who's the artist or director or celebrity? Who's been your favorite?
You know, my favorite comic book artist is Jim Lee, because he actually remembers me, which is really funny. He remembers the group Nerds of Anarchy, which is because I remember we were actually on his we were featured on his Twitch before. You know, and because it was after he was in Houston and Dallas and all that. And he did a shout out to us. You know, he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you guys." Blah blah. And anyway, he's been always been nice. He's a really nice guy. As far as actors go, I've met so many actors. Arnold's probably my favorite.
Well, yeah, we know your love for Arnold. We know that's
you know, he was super nice too. I mean, he's my nicest one though was, it's funny, it was Herschel from The Walking Dead. You remember Herschel, right?
Yes.
He's a sweetheart of a man, dude.
I swear,
super nice guy.
I always tell people this. He was the nicest guy I have ever met. And he's hands down favorite celeb.
I would have to agree with you. I would have to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I got to meet him at Alamo City Comic Con's failed horror convention, Terror Expo.
I remember that one.
Terror Expo. I was there. And they put Herschel along, and they had all these amazing stars, but there's nobody there. Like, it was like dead.
Yeah.
And I sat there and talked to Herschel, and you had Robert Englund, you had Herschel, you had Nathan Basil. If you don't know those three, they're connected. They all did a film together called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And I'm sitting there talking to Herschel. I'm interviewing Herschel for a previous podcast. And Robert Englund walks up, and they start talking, and they start sharing stories, and they start doing this.
Holy crap! That's awesome.
And then Nathan Basil walks up, who played Leslie Vernon in that movie. And they start talking, and they start, just hanging out and all of that. And Herschel, he talked to us. He was like, "Oh yeah, I remember did this and this and this." And he made the comment that what he used to do is, whenever he would go to film a role for a place, he would look for the best barbecue in that area.
Yeah.
He wanted to eat the best barbecue in the area because he loved barbecue.
Yeah.
And he said that's why he loved filming in Austin. He loved filming in New Braunfels and like different parts of Texas because of barbecue. And he said the only other place that could compete for barbecue was in Kentucky. He would go to Kentucky, and they had really good barbecue as well. So he'd always try to film close to areas that had good barbecue. And he's just a super nice guy. And
that's awesome.
Really nice. So I got to agree with you on that. Super cool.
Yeah, he was like I said. I mean, I will always tell people he was my favorite, celeb to meet. He's super nice. And with so many people I've met, you always have like that one bad seed. I've met I met actors and artists who are they're not social. I mean, I want to know why are you even at the Comic-Con if you're gonna you wouldn't be who you are if it wasn't for the fans,
Seriously.
Several of those.
Who?
Hey, if you want to throw shade, you could throw shade. I'll kick that off.
Look,
one of the most terrible people I've met, one of the most dickish people I've ever met, Tom Savini. Super talented guy. Wow. Super talented guy. I love his Night of the Living Dead remake. At Texas Frightmare, because he's there. He's like the Virgil of Texas Frightmare weekend. He is always there, and he's just a dick to a lot of people. He's there to make money. He doesn't care what anybody else thinks. Pay him, leave him alone. Just doesn't care. Doesn't really care about anybody else. So just frustrating.
There was a show that Rob Liefeld was at that Robert from I think it's called Culture Shock or
Pop Culture,
Atomic Monkey. It used to be Pop Culture. Now it's like Atomic Monkey. But,
it's Atomic Monkey now.
He had a con where he brought Liefeld in. It was over in where the hell was that at? I can't remember.
Baytown?
No, it wasn't in Baytown. It was over off of 59 South. Anyway.
Yeah, it's over where we're at. Atomic Monkey. It's closer to us.
Yeah, no, but he had like a con, he threw a con together where he brought in Rob Liefeld as a guest. Rob Liefeld legit had his table set up but he was sitting legit 8 feet away from his table, back behind his table, working on sketching or whatever, and not talking to nobody.
Yeah.
And he had some local yokels that were there, just that, were his big fans that were helping him, like handlers, basically.
Yeah.
And this was my first con I went to, just for fun, to help out my local comic shop to help them sell stuff there. And I was watching him, and he was like, just couldn't be bothered, man. Like, people were asking him to, if they could talk to him. He's like, just waving them off. I'm like, wow, dude, what a dick. But
yeah,
he didn't care to talk to the handler would go grab whatever it was you wanted to sign. He gave the menu. He had the menu back then. This was like, the menu now is a big joke online because if you want him to sneeze your direction, it's $20. But like, they give him the menu, and they'd have to tell him what they want. He would sign it and just he'd have his head down, sign it and throw it to the menu. Just couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, man, you were one of the luckiest guys in comics to be acting like this. Like, you rode some of the top tier coattails in the Image. Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
Will Spartacus can slap shit out of you. Like, I just, and I'm not even going to talk about his, drawing. I'm not a master by any degree or anything like that, but like just his attitude. And then I met him at Comicpalooza. The first year they had Comicpalooza, where the artists were the outside of the con. Yeah, like, he went up the escalator, and all the artists, like Ramos was there, Roberto Ramos, all these big names. Yeah, Ethan Van Sciver, and you just meet them. You didn't have to pay to get in the con to meet the artists. Like my table was inside with a different vendor inside, and I just came out to meet artists to get autographs, stuff like that. You didn't have to pay to get in and see them. It was wild. But yeah, I tried meeting him, and he was just looking away from me. Oh yeah. It's like, all right, dude, piss off. Like, yeah, the rumors are true. You are that much of a prick.
Wow.
So,
yeah, the worst guy I've ever met was Arthur Sudman or Sudam, whatever.
Oh, Sudam.
Zombie King or whatever. Yeah, he's an absolute jackass. I don't care who tells him I said this. He can watch this or hear this podcast. He is a great jackass. He back when Marvel Zombies kind of started coming out or whatever, those were my thing. I loved Marvel Zombies. Like my love for Arnold, my love for Marvel Zombies was the same thing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and he was at it was actually one of the first cons I went to. Started going was the Dallas, and he was there, and I bought 3 figures, Marvel Legends or Marvel Select Zombies. Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, those are expensive as hell now.
Yeah. And so I took them over there, and I mean I was in line or whatever, and it was my turn. I went up there and I showed him the figures. I was so excited, to finally meet the guy. And the first thing he tells me is, "What are these?" And I said, "Oh, these are Marvel Zombie Selects, and it has his artwork all over him, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't get paid for these." And I was like,
"What?"
Yeah. So, and keep in mind, there's a lot of people behind me, and he's sitting there basically instead of signing everything and whatnot, he's giving me a lecture on how he's not getting any money for these. Like he's talking to me like I am his manager and I failed some kind of weird contract or something. Like what do you do? I'm a fan of yours. You're giving me a lecture on why you're not getting paid for some merchandise. Come on.
Wow.
So
Arthur, that's a you problem, pal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all you, and that's not.
So he's making me look like shit in front of all these people. Like I brought some damn knockoffs or something. Some shit like that.
That's pretty scummy, dude.
And from that day, I kid you not, I sold everything of my Marvel Zombies. I said, you know what? Screw this guy. I will never, ever see him or support him at all. I see him at shows. I walk right past the table. He will try to wave me down and get me to come buy shit or see shit. I will never support that guy. He is a major dick. I will never mess with him.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
I have a similar story. Where I waited in line to get my Marvel Zombies 1 signed and my Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness #1 signed.
Oh man!
And I waited in line and I only had 2 issues. The guy there was a guy the day before that had every Marvel Zombies cover, every variant cover, every Virgin cover.
Used to be me.
This guy had 40 comics that he wanted to get signed, and he did it. I had two issues. I get up there. I finally in line. I'm like, hey, okay. So once you get, I just want you to sign these. Please, can you please sign these? Mm-hmm. And Arthur looks at him and goes, yeah, I'll sign them, but you have to buy a print first.
I'm like, rope-a-dope.
I'm like, right? What? And I'm like, well, I was like, well, where's this rule at? Like, nobody told me that. He goes, oh, you weren't told? I said, no. And he points to his table that's flat. There's a sign that says, for a free autograph, by print. It's not posted up anywhere. It's not, hanging or any. When you're in line, you can't see that. You can't see that when you're in line.
God, man.
And so I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I bought the, I think it was the DC Infinite Crisis zombie cover, where Superman's holding like a zombie Supergirl in his arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I buy that, and then I buy them. Like, okay, cool. I'm buying this. Sign these two comics. He's like, no. It's one print. Get you an autograph.
Oh, you know what? At that point, no, dude.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I buy another print. I buy the Silver Surfer Marvel zombie print too. Yeah. Buy that. So now I'm $30 in for autographs for two comics. I get it. I'm like, I don't want these fucking things.
Yeah.
So I come home, and this was like 2006 or 7. Come home. I'm like looking at that crap like on the apartment floor. I'm like, man, I don't want that crap.
Yeah. Yep.
Put it up on eBay, sell them. Luckily, I get like $45 each because it's his peak. This is Arthur Saddam's peak of popularity, and they sell for $45 each.
Nice.
So I get my money back, and I'm just like, man, that's what a scum, Like what a trash guy! What a trash guy!
You can say, man, it's a bitch move.
Yeah, it is. Really is. He pulled a Virgil move on you. He pulled a Virgil. So yeah,
here's some inside. Here's a little inside baseball on Arthur Soydom and that circle of people. They have this lady named Renee Witterstatter, who was like an editor or whatever in comics back in the day, and now she's like their quasi rep. And she gets them booked at shows, or was getting them booked at shows. So they always had like an island of people. Yeah. And if you're an artist, and God forbid you're an artist near their tables and you don't show up on time, they'll just take your fucking table.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Notorious that bullshit. And so her, Soydom, Michael Golden, and somebody else, like the fucking Dick Corps, just all cocksuckers. Really fucking rude. Can't be bothered. It's like, what is the deal here, man? Like, you are all you're all old school. Like, I mean, you're all talented people, and you offered a lot in comics, but like, get off. Well, I mean, what are you talking? Who are you? Like, I mean,
who are you?
Yeah,
I've met Renee only because she was the writer. She was technically the writer for Sensational She-Hulk back in the 80s. And I have a She-Hulk #1, and I got her to sign it. It had like the green foil cover, like the low cut black dress green foil cover. Thing. I got Renee to sign it because, again, my wife loves She-Hulk, or she's compared to Jen Walters She-Hulk and all that.
Of course.
And so I got her to sign that. I waited because I would keep coming by her table, and she was never there. Finally, third day Sunday. This was at Wizard World, Texas, Austin, I think.
Okay.
And third day, she's finally there, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I've been here all weekend long." And I'm like, "Bitch, you lying? Bitch, you lying? Sign this book."
You always lying.
Bitch, you lying? Come on now. But yeah, I met her. I'm like, I was like, yeah, I can see why you're the editor of She-Hulk. You took her 1980s haircut still, and you still rock that. The big old wave, that big old puff wave.
You know, man, I will never understand. Like, granted, I haven't done any big sequential work to I can ever. I mean, that's down the line for me. Like, but like, I would have to imagine if I ever get to the point where I'm a name like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say with impunity, I'm not going to be like that, man. Like, because to Bob's point, you forget yourself. Like, if people weren't buying your books and they weren't selling, you wouldn't be working. Like, you wouldn't be getting subsequent issues and put on other miniseries and shit like that. The companies wouldn't bother because you're not pulling in any money because nobody likes your shit.
Yep.
So, like, no one's asking you to grovel at my feet as a fan of your work. I'm simply saying, look, man, I paid $100 getting this motherfucker with parking and the ticket. And you were given your free table and your free hotel because I know how this shit works.
Yeah.
You're brought in as a guest. You're making your money.
Yeah.
And sure, if I'm that big a fan, I'll buy a couple of your prints because I love your work that much. But like, even if you're holding me hostage for your autograph, then you know what? Get a Hero Initiative box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Get a Hero Initiative box and I'll donate to it. And I've seen some artists, old school artists, do that, and I respect the hell out of that. Because if there's one thing I can tell you, artists don't have insurance.
Nope.
So, hello, awesome, perfect. One of the nicest people I ever met in comics was Mike Zeck at Comic Palooza.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a corner booth across from his little island section, and he came over a handful of times and bought some blanks from me because I had this like wire rack that I put on the table behind me. It's just pimped out with blanks. I got 8,000 blanks, and so I bring plenty with me to either sketch on or sell to other artists or attendees or whatever.
Yeah.
And he would, we kind of built up this like quasi friendship over the weekend, and we got to talking, and he look at my work. He's like, "Oh, this is cool, man, great stuff, yada yada," and just very encouraging. Very, he gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every fan that came to his table, he was happy to sign everything for him. Like he signed numerous Punisher #1s and like Secret Wars #8s and shit like that, like with no problem. I didn't see him be a jerk to anybody. And even if people who weren't really good artists are there to show their portfolio, he's very encouraging, very honest, but very encouraging, which is what you want from somebody in the business who you're trying to get some sort of help from.
That's true.
I'd like to think that I would be that person eventually, because I've been on that side of the table to where I've seen just industry people just be complete assholes. And like, granted, people are going to have bad days. I get that. And I know that not every day is sunshine and rainbows, but like all three of us have jobs, right?
Yep.
Like if you go to your job tomorrow and you're paid to be there and a customer comes in and you're like, "Hey, what's up, dick face? What do you want?" How's that going to go for you? Not well.
That's true.
So what makes you think, what I mean? Like, I don't understand that mindset. One of the most discouraging, most sourpuss people I ever met in this industry was Ethan Van Sciver. Ethan Van Sciver, that dude is so self-deprecating and such a political clown as far as like getting caught up in all the troll bullshit online with politics.
Agreed.
Like,
yes.
What an idiot. Yeah. But like, I showed him some of my work. He's like, "Oh man, this isn't for you."
Oh my god.
I was like,
"Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well, is there anything I can do better?" He's like, "I don't know. Do you think?" I was like,
"Wow.
All right, man. Here, can I get this autograph on this Green Lantern book? I'm out of here." Like, fuck off, dude.
Wow.
Like, and this was before I knew all about his online shenanigans.
Yeah.
And when all that stuff came out, he's a keyboard warrior from hell. And when all that came out, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense because he was a complete asshole to me in real life." So of course, that was going to happen and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I just, whatever. I mean, I apologize. I'm not trying to be political. My whole thing was like, we're just talking about like people in the industry being who they are.
Yeah. He evolved into a not a good person. I was introduced to him because of the Green Lantern books. I got his autograph when he was at his table. Because he liked to wander and not really want to do a lot of things. And when I met him, he gave off the attitude of you're beneath me because you're asking for my signature type of attitude.
Yes.
And I was like, "Okay, yep, I'm done. All right. Thank you for drawing one of my favorite superheroes. I'll peace out, and I'm going to go wait in line and hopefully be able to high five Scott Campbell over there." So I'm out.
Yeah. So to those listening, man, one of the things we strive for, we try to strive for no politics, and I'm sorry for any, I just, just that guy in particular. How can you talk about that guy and not mention his online shenanigans?
Some people don't know. Some people just don't know. They don't. Especially within the last 2 years, it's hard to separate the guy at the table from the guy who was online. So it's very hard to separate that. one guy that I really enjoy meeting in public just because I like talking to him is Greg Horn, artist Greg Horn at conventions. Super nice guy. He did like a lot of like the She-Hulk covers whenever they brought her back for like Single Green Female in that run. Super nice guy.
Covers. A lot of good.
Yeah.
covers.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love this Marvel stuff. The especially the Spider-Woman bikini cover that he did. Holy crap, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But he's always a super nice guy. He likes to talk to everybody. I love the Zimmer Frost art as covers too.
Those like a 12-issue series they did.
Yeah, the Zimmer Frost.
Those things still sell for money, man. It's crazy. You can't keep those.
I think I've got the full set of that. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know I've at least got the first 10. But I'm sure I got the full set of that. But yeah, he's always just a really cool guy to talk to. And I wish he would do more cons.
Yeah.
He was always really cool. So I'm throwing some positivity out there to people that I actually liked at conventions. He was cool. J. Scott Campbell was pretty cool. Scotty Young at the beginning when I first saw him in 2004 was a really cool and fun guy. I mean, he was just like super energetic and super fun and all that. Now he's kind of like a hermit crab, with his stuff. But when I first met him, he was super cool. I couldn't, he was semi-unknown, but he was just a really great guy.
Another, I didn't want to cut you off. I was going to tell you when you talk about positive people, McFarlane is very positive. He's a very, very nice guy. When I first met him, I was expecting him to be, Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Rob Liefeld complex or something like that.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, if you meet, I don't know if y'all have met him before, but I mean, if y'all ever get the chance to, he's super nice, dude. He's really, really supportive. I remember there was an artist in front of me who was talking to him, and I think he brought him his portfolio or whatnot. Yeah. And it's hard to kind of carry on a huge conversation with him because everything moves so quick. But Todd was actually taking the time to sit there and talk to him about getting his foot in the door, and he's just a really nice guy. So he's speaking of positive. Todd McFarlane is up there, really, really positive person.
I have yet to meet it. I have yet to meet Todd McFarlane. He's on my bucket list. Person I have to meet. So.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed. Really, really good person to meet.
Yeah, just saying this a side note, like the positive people that I really loved meeting, like J. Scott Campbell. I think y'all mentioned him.
Yeah,
was a super sweet guy. I watched him at MegaCon. I sat with him at MegaCon. That was the first con I did as a quasi-professional, and I was watching him do sketches for people. When he saw that I had my badge on, he's like, "Hey man, come sit down." I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I sat down with him. I was watching him bang out like Zatanna sketches and people's sketchbooks and crap. And nice. It's like watching, just watching Da Vinci, what I mean? Just like paint a masterpiece or whatever. Yeah. It's insane. He was super awesome. Humberto Ramos was a great guy. That was one of the first sketches I ever got on a sketch cover. I think he charged me $30, $30 for a Captain America head sketch on one of those crappy Secret Invasion sketch covers that had like a little square on it. It was like, shiny and slick. He did that and it was awesome. And I think, to be fair, I sold it for like $300 later on, whatever. I mean, we got net profit, right? But,
wow,
man, just any number of guys. Then you said Greg, was it Greg Horn you said, or Greg Land?
Greg Horn. Greg Horn was
nice. I met Greg Land. He was pretty cool. Darwin Cook before he passed away.
Yeah.
I met him at MegaCon. He was a sweet guy. Really, really cool. Phil Noto was okay. He couldn't really be bothered, but I think he was working on a sketch or whatever. Anyway, we can go on for hours on that stuff, man. But yeah.
Okay, well let's turn this into our Mount Rushmore. Your Mount Rushmore of comic artists that you love meeting. Your four. Okay. The favorite ones that you love meeting, past, passed away or present, current day living. Who are your four, the ones that you've enjoyed, that you've liked, that you talk to. Let's go with that route. So, Bob, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, the my Mount Rushmore, and I know my three already. I don't know my fourth yet, but Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, George Perez. He is a character, dude. He's so awesome. I've always had good experiences when I met him. Very nice guy. As for my fourth, I don't know. A lot of positive people. Come back to me for my fourth. Let me think about my fourth.
Catch you for your fourth.
Come back to me for my fourth.
Okay.
Well, what about you, Aaron?
I'll kick it off. Okay, so George Perez. I was going to say George Perez. The main reason for that, quick story. This was 2006. I'm waiting in line for Wizard World, Texas, because in the early 2000s, me and the wife would go to Wizard World, Texas, in Dallas, which then got moved to Austin. We would go there, and as we were waiting outside in line to get into the vendor artist alley hall, George Perez is going up and down the aisles signing anything that you wanted to sign, signing anything. He was just walking up, talking to people, signing anything. So he was on my list he was on my list to meet. So I'll pull out Jurassic Park movie adaptation comic number 1.
Nice.
He did the cover for that.
Comics, yep.
Topps Comics. He did the cover for that. I pulled it out and he's going through and he sees it. He stops. He goes, "I've never signed one of these.
What?
This is the first time I've ever seen one that that somebody's brought for me to sign."
Oh my
God! It's out of the bag. And he took it out of the bag too because I put the bag in the back of the slipcase. And he's like, and he's just stopping and looking. And he goes, "Man, I remember when I had to draw this. I had so many restrictions of what I couldn't do because of the movie. It was just taken back on it." But George Perez, yeah, amazing guy.
Wow,
super nice and just fun guy. Tony Moore, the original artist for Walking Dead. The guy looks like a hillbilly on crack. He looks like he belongs in a He looks like he belongs in a Rob Zombie movie. But he is super nice, super just nice guy. He'll talk to you about anything horror inspiring, which helps him draw and stuff like that. He was super cool. I met him at a Wizard World. Great guy. Can't say anything bad about him at all. Another artist, Coy Turnbull. First comic convention I went to, I had a sketchbook. I was just wanting to get people's autographs in it. I didn't know the whole thing about getting sketches from artists at this time. Yeah. So I had a sketchbook. I went up to the Top Cow table or Top Cow Island booth thing. And he's like, "Hey, is that your sketchbook?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just getting autographs." I mean, the very first autograph in this sketchbook was from Shawn Michaels that I met like 3 weeks before. So
nice.
I'm there. He goes, "Hey, let me see your sketchbook." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Hey, come back in 15 minutes. I'm like, "Well, but I need my sketchbook." He goes, No. I'll have it ready for you in 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I'm going to draw on it, right? You want me to draw on it, right?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." And so I'm like, "Okay." So I walk away, come back. He's like, "Hey, here you go, man. I saw you. You only had an autograph." I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, well, here you go. Enjoy." And he drew this badass picture of Batman. Didn't have to pay for this. I didn't pay for the sketch at all. He just drew it. And so I have this sketchbook somewhere upstairs in my house that is nothing but free sketches that I've gotten. I've offered to pay these people to do these sketches, but he was the very first one to just draw in there because he loved drawing. And Coy Turnbull did Witchblade, he did Aspen, he did Batman a few times. He's been here and there. He's a really cool guy. Kind of looks like BJ Smooth from TV shows and everything. And my fourth artist, I'm going to say, super nice guy that I got to talk to, got to kind of hang out with, and really enjoy the conversation. Mike Mignola from Hellboy, got to meet him.
Nice,
really cool, old school guy, really nice. We ended up having a conversation, and it's kind of funny because I kind of bring this up every so often with other friends now about cafeteria pizza. And the most random thing, cafeteria food pizza, and just super nice. He was a really great guy. And I know some people don't like him because they find him kind of dry humor and kind of, he's kind of standoffish. But if you just talk to the guy and listen to him and just kind of joke around, he's really great. So that's my Mount Rushmore of my 4 artists. So Bob, do you have your 4th, or do you still need more time, or?
I do have my 4th.
Okay.
I've met so many, but I think I'll have to go with the person who did my very first sketch at my con, and that would be Ben Dunn.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. He's always been a nice guy. I consider him more of a friend now than I do a comic book artist. Ben Dunn has worked. He's been very successful with the Warrior Nun. I don't know if anybody's seen it on Netflix yet, but it came from his comic book series that he did that he drew. He's a very nice guy. He's the very first artist that did a sketch for me. Like Aaron, I didn't really know about that world of getting sketches. I mean, he was my gateway drug basically. He did my very first sketch, and my very first sketch, I believe it was Green Arrow. He did Green Arrow for me.
Nice.
The CW version came out great. It was awesome. He was my he was my fourth.
That's awesome. Hey, Chris, lead us out.
Man, I have to say, and this is probably I can't say it in particular order. These are all just ones that stand out for me. I've done a lot of cons. So I've met a lot of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones I always remember, I want to say Koi Pham at Space City Con.
Okay.
When they brought him in, he was. Do what? Yeah. Space City. They had it at that hotel at the Galleria.
Yeah.
He was there, and he had just done he'd done a run on the Scarlet Spider, the Kane Parker Houston book, one based in town. Yep. And I had a Scarlet Spider blank cover, and my deal was I was going to draw something on it, but I was like, hey man, it'd be kind of cool. Would you mind signing this for me? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you want me to sketch anything for you? I was like, no. I was like, I'm an artist. I was just kind of hoping maybe you could sign it for me and I could draw something on it just for my personal collection. He's like, okay, well, he's like, I'm not doing anything, and if you want me to draw something with you, I was like, you know what, here, you draw something, and tell me how much it is, and I'll pay you. And he's like, no, it's free. I was like, no, it's, and he insisted, and he had given me this really dope, quick Sharpie Scarlet Spider, like with a hunch down, classic Spidey pose. And it looks badass, man. That's one of the, I have that in a frame, at my house, stashed away. Nice. That's one of the ones, and he was super cool, man. Just super chill dude. So that's one of them. The next one would be Ramos as well. He was just super cool. He just would let me hang out at his booth at MegaCon. I was a total dork. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell I was a new guy, and so just didn't mind hanging out with me. And we just talked about Captain America, and we talked about Spider-Man. And he had that book, Fairy Tales or whatever, that he was doing with Francisco Herrera.
Yeah,
he had that coming out and stuff like that. He was super cool, dude. J. Scott Campbell was another one that I was just blown away. That I was sitting here shooting the shit with who I considered a legend. In the industry, and he just asked me how my day was and shit like this, and it was just we talked about Disney, because he said he wanted to go to Disney, and I was like, I can't afford it. He's like, you and me both. He's like, this place is expensive as hell, and so it's kind of cool. Talking to one of these rock stars of the industry, talking about how Disney's expensive for them. You're like, oh my god, how bad is it for me then? So that's 3. Yeah. Man, the last one that I can remember that really stuck out for me. Do what?
Ethan Van Scriber, is he your fourth?
Absolutely not, dude. What an a-hole. No, it's going to have to be Kevin Eastman. And you guys know me as a Turtle fan.
Okay. Yeah.
When they had him in town for Amazing Houston. And I think, did I tell the story in the last episode, Aaron?
No, you didn't. You didn't tell the Eastman story.
Okay, so he was a guest, obviously, for Amazing Con, and I was there. I had my own table. Somebody came and got a sketch on one of those Turtle IDW blanks. I did a Casey Jones for him.
Okay, you did. Yeah, so you did. Yeah, you did tell this one. But go ahead, Bob.
On the podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Bob hasn't heard of that.
They go and get that signed by Eastman at his booth, and Eastman goes, "Hey, who did this?" And he's like, "Oh, that's that guy over there. He drew it for me." He's like, wow, this guy's going places. This guy's amazing. And yada, yada, yada. All this crazy shit. And the guy comes back and tells me, I'm like, what? Okay. Nice. Sure. That's awesome. It's nice to hear that. I've had David Finch say I had a cool Ghost Rider in a sketch cover or in a sketchbook or whatever. It's just crazy shit like that. It's just really odd to me. And so I was like, wow, that's dope, man. Okay. And knowing I had a backpack full of turtle shit I wanted to get signed at some point. And so I ended up making it over to his booth, and he's signing some stuff for me. And I was like, yeah, man. So I had a customer that actually came and got a sketch cover I drew of Casey Jones. And he's like, oh, the one where he's with the wall behind him, whatever. I was like, yeah. He's like, damn, dude. He's like, what are you doing in the industry? I was like, oh, I'm working on a book for Overground. I'm doing, I've done this variant or whatever. He's like, well, yeah, man. He's like, keep at it, man. He's like, it's only a matter of time. I was like, amen, man. I hope so. And so, I've been chipping away ever since. But those would be the ones. It is. Yeah. And that goes back to our point, man. Like, I think even if he's lying to me, it's nice to just, hear something positive. And that's, I mean, you can't put a price on that, man. Because
I personally don't think he was lying to you, man. I mean, you've done work for me before, and I don't think he was lying to you.
Yeah, he's
not. I appreciate it, Bob. Thank you, man.
He's not lying.
I mean, it's who I am, man. I've got a wonderful wife who supports what I do.
Yeah, my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, so yeah, I'm on my wife's Mount Rushmore for favorite artists.
I don't know who the other people I've met.
I will say in my collection, all of my sketch covers I have, the one that you did, the Dumbo one, is in my top faves. That Dumbo sketch you did for me, very beautiful. It means a lot. And my friends, a couple of the guys got together and got it for me, and it's still one of my faves today. You blew me away with it. It's sentimental value, and it's just a beautiful sketch.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, man. That's the character that really, as a kid, that turned me on to the idea that what family is, what mother is, and what it's like to be a kid who had big ears, right? Yeah, and was picked on for being fat and different looking and shit like that. And so that was the character that just kind of made that emotional connection for me as a child. And so he's always been one of my favorites. And I wish I could do more live art, man. Just who has the time? But anyway, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words. And I said, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. I do have to get a special shout out to Michael Turner on this, because he was such a cool guy, such a nice guy.
Oh yeah.
Michael Turner was such a good guy. Take him before his time.
I've heard nothing but good things about him too. Yeah,
super nice guy.
Would be nice to meet him.
Yeah, he was great. I got to meet him twice. Really cool guy. Really cool guy. Yeah, I got the Wizard World Texas sketch cover of Wolverine that he did, like the golden sketch cover.
I remember that. Yeah,
and he autographed it. I got him to autograph it too.
So wow.
I've got that upstairs in my cave right now, or my pit.
How much you want for it?
2 AT-AT
how many buckets going to cost you? Yeah,
dude, it's going to be 2 AT-AT popcorn buckets. But we got to start wrapping this up, because now we're over 2 hours now.
We're breaking format.
Yeah, we don't have format.
That's the thing about nerds. I mean, you could talk for hours. I mean, we could talk. I love talking to all my nerdy friends, man. We could just talk for hours.
Yeah, man,
and I just want to say thank you, Bob, for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Being a part of this.
I mean,
I know you asked us way before you even started coming back to do podcasts again. You're one of the first ones like, I want to be on when you start doing this. We're like, well, we're trying to get our feet, kind of settled with this.
Of course, yeah.
But we wanted to bring you on. Yeah, you're at the toy show that I didn't even know you were going to be at. You just popped up there toward the end.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I bought this popcorn bucket, Sully. I bought this. Yeah. I'm big pimping, and you're at this toy show.
That's what Bob does, man. Bob is everywhere.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'll be in Conroe tomorrow for the Comic Con over there. So
it's no wonder Jim Lee knows you. It's no wonder Jim Lee knows you. You're everywhere. You're all at all his cons.
Oh my god!
I love hanging out with everybody, man. We're all spread out, and I love hanging out with all my nerd friends. Talking.
It's a lot of fun. It is definitely a lot of fun, and we got to have you back on, because we got to tell them about HaloCon. But we'll say that for the next episode.
Oh yeah,
for the next time, because HaloCon.
Plenty more to talk about.
HaloCon was a trip on its own.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get to that later at a later time. But again, thank you for coming on. It has been a great time talking with you, just chilling and chatting it up. So thanks.
Thanks for having me.
What is your wife doing in the background? I see you're like attacking the AC unit back there. What is going
so, dude, ants. Like this weather is driving the ants into the house. It is maddening.
Okay.
F them ants.
Yeah, F them ants. Yeah, F them ants. So, again, thank you. And listeners, thanks for listening. If you made it this long, give yourself a pat on the back.
Please, for God's sake.
Please go grab that extra soda from the fridge. You'll get the extra cup of coffee.
Right, you earned it, man.
Thank you for listening and tuning in. And until next time, I'm your host, Aaron. This is
Chris.
And Bob, again, thank you for joining us.
Thanks
so
for
until
having
next
me,
time, remember, always, unfollow but never unfriend, especially on social media. Don't be that person. and we'll see you next time. And I'm gonna go drink. So later, guys.
This has been a Cross the Streams Media Podcast.